I believe we're live.
Like that.
I believe we're live. Hello, everyone. It's Dylan from YuGiOh Everything, and welcome back to another episode of Talking YuGiOh 7's Up. It has been a long time since we have been live. It's been probably 3 months since we've actually been in person and live, which is insane. So, and it's been obviously over a month since we've been live in general. So it's just great to be back, honestly. I'm happy to see the gang again. And I'm happy, obviously, to be able to bring you guys another 7's Up and talk to you guys about the most recent episode of YuGiOh 7's, which, of course, was Ramen Kid versus Yuga in a duel where the last bowl of ramen was on the line. I got to tell you, going from YuGiOh Reigns, where every single duel was life or death, end of the world, end of artificial intelligence, end of the Ignis, to dueling for the final ramen bowl. It really is something. We're going to get all into that. We're also going to be getting into episode 7 thoughts. We probably will read the episode 7 summary a little later on in the stream. And of course, we will be making our predictions for the upcoming duel between Yuga and the Goha Hexagon agent, which will be really exciting to discuss with these guys. But let's go around the horn. Obviously, we have someone on this stream that we have not had on this channel for half a year.
6 months.
So, Jordan, it is great to have you back.
Thank you.
Thank you. We had some disagreement with pay. She wanted certain benefits, medical benefits, that I could not unfortunately give to her, and so she wasn't able to be on the stream for a while, but we've worked out our differences, and it's great to have you back.
I would like to just point out that there was no agreement. He still isn't paying me anything.
Well, there's
no medical benefits on the show.
We signed an
Definitely
NDA.
no medical benefits.
All right, well, say goodbye to Jordan, everyone.
It's been real.
Yeah, it's been real. Jordan, it's great to have you back. And yeah, I'm just excited to have an honest conversation with you guys in the chat and the crew here. But do you guys want to quickly go around the horn and introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'm Kate.
Pete.
Nick T.
And Jordan.
So I just want to point out this clearly means that she is safe and in no way harmed by me or kept in any basement by me.
There were some really crazy theories, guys, that you guys that people thought that like you were in danger.
I'm not kidnapping women. You know, she's safe.
There are some things that only Nick knows.
All right, well that makes me uncomfortable. But listen, Ramen. I don't know where to start with this episode because it was a pretty nutty episode. It was honestly, while the duel was going on, one of the trippier duels that I've ever watched. And it reminded me, and you guys are living through this right now, watching GX and the older shows for the first time. It reminded me a lot of a very early Yu-Gi-Oh! GX duel.
Yes.
It had that kind of kookiness to it and that kind of vibe of, all right, what is really happening here? The end of the episode was incredible. Everything else had a bit of a fillerish feeling. But do you guys want to start, or do you want me? I mean, I do have kind of an opening monologue. Usually Calibro.
Give us the opening.
You want the opening?
Yeah, Dill, why don't you start us off?
I'll start us off. Caliber is usually the one that asks that, but Caliber unfortunately could not make it. He did text me in his pick, and hopefully he will be back on next week. But as much as we joke around about it, as much as he denies it, he really is a very popular person.
Oh, yeah.
That's very
Absolutely.
real.
I mean, like this week, he's hanging out with like a different person almost every single day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you should see. I have some
Couldn't fit us into
screenshots
his
from
schedule.
Instagram stories.
No, like
man.
he literally hangs out with someone every single day.
Yep.
And hopefully he'll be able to fit us in. It's really about us fitting him in, or him fitting us into his calendar.
It's very rare.
And so hopefully he'll be back on soon. But again, very popular guy. Not going to watch this stream, so you can say whatever you want about him in the chat. But he did
We'll never
text.
watch him.
He did text me in his opinion.
Spam that Caliber emoji.
Yeah, he did text me. Yeah, spam that Cal emote. He did text me in his opinion. But I just want to start with something that I actually did not touch on in the review. And it's something that I think is a very good sign. And that is something very minor that occurred, not even in the episode itself, but in the opening. 6 episodes into YuGiOh 7's, and we already have an opening change. I think that's the quickest any Yu-Gi-Oh opening has had a little bit of a variation to it. And for those of you that don't know what I'm referring to, maybe you haven't seen the episode yet, maybe you haven't seen that part of the opening, but that scene that I'm referring to is right at the end during the na 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 na, you know, the end of the na-nas. And Roa is staring out the window at the Goha building. Well, now we have, during that same shot, Roa's face smiling at the viewer, and then we see his monster come into the frame and slash the camera as it transitions to the new sequence. And I know a lot of people might be saying, well, I mean, it's just, yeah, it's nice, but what does it really mean? To me, that is a really good sign. That is a sign of a studio that is paying attention to small details. That is a sign of a studio that is paying attention to just little things like that. And it shows to me that this is a studio and a team that really does care about bringing the best possible immersion and the best possible experience to the viewer when watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. I think back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains, and again, I'm very appreciative of everything that Studio Gallop did. Studio Gallop, 2 decades, 20 years, worked on this franchise, and 4 movies as well. I will always be, or 3 movies, excuse me. I will always be thankful for that. But when I look at Go Forward of Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains, the opening lasted forever, and they never did anything with that opening. When Blue Girl turned into Blue Maiden, how simple would it have been to change Blue Girl to Blue Maiden's outfit, which I'm 95% sure they never changed it.
No.
Not that I remember.
Yeah, so as Blue Girl, as Aoi's Eisen has this change to Blue Maiden, they don't even go back to the opening, the last 20 episodes that it airs, and change her avatar to Blue Maiden to keep it up to date. They don't even have Lightning, who's the main antagonist of that entire arc, of the entire show, really. They don't even have him show up in the opening. You could just have him as an image for 2 seconds. And when I look at things like that, it makes it almost seem like Studio Gallop towards the end didn't really care about the smaller attention to detail. And again, I'm not going to rag on Studio Gallop because obviously there's a lot more issues there that we don't know about, and I still am very appreciative and thankful for all the work that they did. But it's a very good and encouraging sign to me that something so minor is something that we kind of never really got used to with the old studio and with the old team. And it's already something that's changed and been updated in Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. Very unexpected, a very positive sign in my opinion. It shows a team that really does care about those small details. And it wasn't just an image of Roa. They also added an entire new animation to the sequence with his monster coming in and transitioning the scene. So I really liked that. That's kind of where I wanted to start because if you've watched my video today, I already talked about the episode for 15 minutes, and I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about the episode. But that's my opening thoughts on it. Definitely a good sign, in my opinion, for the production side of things when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. Pete, I want you to start us off, man.
You want me to start us off?
I do. I actually want to know what you thought of the episode. Comments-wise, it seemed pretty split. People either didn't like it. Some people said it was their favorite episode. I'm more on the middle ground of it. I liked it, but it didn't blow my socks off. But what are your thoughts?
This is probably my second least favorite episode.
Episode 1 being your least?
Yeah, being
I
the
agree.
least.
I agree with you.
Just there was some good humor in it. I appreciate that. I like the trio aspect between Ramen and Gakuto and Yuga. I want them to have more scenes to hang
I really
out
liked
together.
that too.
And that's nothing against Rook. He's my favorite character. It was nice to have
a good
just
dynamic, yeah.
different dynamics hang out. So I really did enjoy that. As for I think you compared it perfectly. The GX early episodes, that's exactly what I'm going through. It's exactly what it felt like.
Absolutely.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm halfway through this duel, and I'm watching a kid who has a ramen deck have bowls of soup appear on the field, and they're dueling about the last bowl of ramen. I mean, think about what we're doing here.
Absolutely.
I mean, so I was just like, what is happening in this episode here, and what are we talking about? You have like a zombified guy who's running the shop, who he seems like he's straight out of a Nazi zombie. Like, he looked like that with the glowing eyes. And he's just like hypnotized into making this last bowl of ramen. And you have Gakuto like being a sportscaster on exactly what is going on inside the kitchen, and they're yelling at Yuga to finish the duel because he's almost done with the bowl of ramen. I mean,
water.
it was just it was nutty.
It was a trippy episode. It was one of the trippiest
It
duels
was
I've ever
very
seen.
trippy. I will give it its props in the sense that it was very creative.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see something kind of like a little wacky like that with the ramen thing. I don't miss that character. I don't need him to come back. He served his purpose. He had really his main purpose in my mind was to serve how much Rush Duels is spreading to other towns. I feel like that is the purpose he served, as well as saving the restaurant at the end of the day. But yeah, he doesn't need to come back for me. It was just it was one of those one-off wacky kind of episodes.
Did it feel fillerish to you?
It definitely felt very, very fillerish, especially knowing what's going to happen here with episode 7 so far, where we seem to be getting more what's going to happen with Goha and all that stuff. And I won't go into too many details if no one wants spoilers, but I'm ready for that to start. And this was just almost like, all right, let's get through this so we can get to kind of this main story.
Also, how unsanitary when the guy, he finishes making the ramen and then those 2 things fall out of his eye into the soup bowl.
Yep.
That was nauseating.
And they get eaten.
And Rook just ate it right up.
I
No
know,
problem.
that's nauseating.
Wait,
I'll never be able to look at Rook and say
I would love for some insight as to exactly what those were, because maybe it's a contextual thing. It's some kind of cultural difference that I didn't pick up on.
Always does.
If someone could provide that, because I don't know what were they candies. I
Well,
don't
it's
know.
definitely probably something that does go in ramen, but I don't think it's usually
yeah,
served
probably
by
was.
falling from
No,
islands.
no, and always this hashtag every time that I have these thoughts is Pete hates fun. It's trending. That's fine. It's just not. It's
I mean, to
not
say
my.
it's your second least favorite,
Yeah,
is
but-
like one thing. But to say it's your second least favorite out of 6 episodes is not that
Exactly.
big of a
And,
statement.
like,
Yeah,
you know,
I agree with you. It was my second.
It
least
wasn't like I
favorite.
was sitting there going, "Oh my god, I can't wait till this is over." It was more like I was just shaking my head, like, "Yeah, of course." Like, you know, just like some of the lines that are said and just things that go on. I laughed a couple times. There was a couple good
Good.
moments.
I'm glad you had a few laughs. Yeah, it was a there were some funny moments. I think there was a moment that kind of actually creeped me out, and I think Sevens is going to do a really good job of doing this. But I'll wait before I go into that.
I think I know exactly what it is.
You probably do, but Nick T,
Yeah.
what were your thoughts, man? This is kind of
I mean,
this is kind of hard for me because of the angle. We're trying to do our best to social distance.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just kind of turn like this.
As the guy who loves everything, I mean, you can probably expect how I felt about this, but it's pretty like middle. As far as the episodes we already had, like sort of middle of the road, maybe even higher end, because I'm actually a big fan of these like cracked out episodes. P and I were just talking about before the stream that like it's really pretty comparable to when Judai duels the monkey. I mean, it's absolutely
What's
on
happening
par.
in that episode?
But
It only gets
and I,
worse.
like, as, like,
It only gets
as
worse.
cracked out as that felt, like I loved every second of it. I love like me questioning what was happening at every turn, like in GX when they take the headgear off the monkey and they leave him off with a nice dual disc. And I was like, wait, why?
like realistically, like who is he dueling in the forest?
Who knows?
Like, why?
But similarly, I mean, like I had the same amount of questions, and like it just really proved to me, like in retrospect, like that I was entertained the whole time. As fillerish as it may have sounded, because I am with Pete, like I would like this sort of thing to get ahead, you know, go on. Like let's get into the meat and potatoes
Goha.
of the series, but I was entertained the whole time, questioning why is this dude like in a corner, like drawn in purple and like zombified. But there was like things that surprised me about like the quality of this episode, as fillerish as it felt like. I felt like for a ramen deck, the card designs were like pretty superbly done.
They really
and
were.
the biggest surprise to me was how like clean the ramen making animation was.
The
I don't know why
animation
it was
was-
top.
yeah.
Animation was
Like
absolutely
and like
incredible,
specifically when he's making the angles they were drawing him at, like shaking the ramen out, and I'm like, why does this look so good when he's just making ramen?
I know. I know.
But it was just really enjoyable, and I mean maybe I was memeing a bit and like saying like, oh, I'm really loving this ramen kid, but like he was an enjoyable character, and like he was one of those characters that I really respect because his heart's in the right place, and that's the same reason I love Yuga, the same reason I love Gakuto, the same reason I love all the characters so far is because their hearts are sort of in the right place,
Right.
and the ramen kid is no exception. I just really enjoyed it, and of course the way they left us off, the perfect.
The ending was great, which we'll get more into that.
And I think that's why I'm like, yes, this was fillerish, but it's definitely leading us to where we want to start going.
yeah.
Yeah, to me, I thought of it in an alternate world somewhere out there, right? It's just Roman and Gakuto and Yuga. They just work at this shop,
And
that's
that's
the
fine.
whole show.
And that's fine.
It's that
Yeah.
they work at this ramen noodle
Yep.
shop and they help out and they market it, and that's all I picture for 100 episodes. That's all I
Yes.
want. No dueling, no nothing.
And there's certain like very very minor jokes that they like haven't let go of that I'm glad they didn't just abandon, like
Like the Rook one.
the Rook one. Yes, of course.
Him rambling.
Yeah,
And
like
them just walking away.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
I
a
love
classic
that.
too.
I
but
love
like
that.
what's the robot's name?
Kaizo.
Kaizo.
Kaizo
Kaizo.
is still like vastly like obsessed with Roman to
Right.
where she's like
He's a fanboy.
keeps convincing him of things just by giving him a wink and complimenting him.
I know.
Changes his attitude like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
But I
live for
love
it.
that because they're all young kids. I love at this age even she recognizes she can do that.
Right.
And so when she wants something done, she
Terrifying.
knows how to turn it
Yes.
on
Yeah.
to
Exactly.
get the
Oh,
robot
yeah.
to do that.
Yeah, so really enjoyable.
The one thing that really, I think Sevens is going to do this a lot, where they're going to have kind of subliminal things that the younger audience is not going to pick up on.
Yeah.
But we as adults are going to be like kind of doing a double take, like, huh, that's kind of interesting. The first thing to me was that, you have 6 minutes and 66 seconds before
Yeah.
the timer runs out, like 666. Like, no one says 6 minutes and 66 seconds. You say 7 minutes and 6 seconds.
Right.
So that's clearly going out of the way to symbolize 666. But the one thing that this episode did that really made me kind of like, oh, God, that's a little creepy, was the whole facial recognition thing.
Oh, see, okay, that's
and
not
even
what
though
Yeah.
that was done as like obviously a gag, when you really think about it, there is facial recognition software. This is a robot that is able to analyze what a person is going to be able to do and what they are going to do, their actions in the future, without even needing to ask them about it. Like, that's how they're able to just scan your
Yep.
mind and your actions.
Yep.
Like that's kind of
Terrifying.
terrifying.
Yuga being
Absolutely
a corporate spy.
terrifying.
Yuga being a spy
Yeah.
with
Gakuto,
Gakuto being a complainer.
Which is
chronic
right on.
complainer.
Spot on. And again, it's
Spot on.
obviously it's comedy, and I laughed and it was funny,
Yeah.
and it really was a lot of fun. But knowing what we know about artificial intelligence and how dangerous it can end up being, everyone always says that's going to be the end of humans, and whether it is, I guess we'll have to wait and see, unfortunately. But that's something that makes you do a quick double take, and you're like, oh, that's a little creepy, a little
Unsettling, yeah.
apocalyptic.
The one that I caught my eye in that same scene was, if you notice when they go up, they have the whole board, right, of all the customers look like they're enjoying it, whatever.
Right.
But the symbol is the Goha symbol, right?
Yeah.
But the whole screen is lit up as just people. There's no reference to Goha, nothing, but the shape is. So it's like that subliminal messaging.
I
Exactly.
missed
I
You
didn't
look
even
up at that
notice that.
screen,
I
and it's
missed
like,
that.
oh, it's like everyone enjoying it and all the good time. But it's really it's like Goha watches over you. We're the ones providing you with this kind of entertainment and good products and everything. So it's like that's how big
missed that.
businesses can do that.
That's good. That's actually really good subliminal messaging.
Yeah, I found something really interesting, and for a filler episode, I was sort of felt was kind of messed up. We sort of get this almost class structure of Goha City, and the fact that the robot denies customers based on that perceived facial recognition. It's to try to keep out, as what they say, weirdos and troublemakers, so
Yeah.
that everyone attending is having a good experience. It felt very exclusionary and weird.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But-
And I feel like that may be not specific to the ramen store. I feel like this is something that's sort of an ideal in the heart of Goha
Absolutely.
City.
Absolutely.
Well, that's the thing. Even shows that are intended for younger audiences, it doesn't make everything that's happening exclusively dumbed down. I mean, I think of a lot of shows that are aimed for maybe 12, 11. I don't know the age demographic that they're really hitting, but there's definitely things that older fans can enjoy in those shows.
SpongeBob.
Pokemon being a big one.
Yeah.
Well, they want to keep even just as simple as the parents. If the parents are watching with the kids, they want to keep them somewhat engaged.
Right.
And then they want to keep the older fans, our age, also into the show, because if it's too kid-like,
Yeah.
You're not gonna wanna watch
right,
it.
Right. If it's more if it appeals more to children, like Blue's Clues, we aren't
Right.
gonna want to watch it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Right. And I think
Completely
those themes are always shown, to Jordan's point of if a kid is watching the show, right, and you see all those businesses when you had the shot that are completely out of business, all these small town things. A kid would go, oh man, that stinks, the bad corporation, robots, whatever. But if you think about it on the larger point, right, we see that in everyday life. If a big corporation comes into an area, it shuts down all small businesses
Amazon.
in the area. Whether it's a
Amazon.
Walmart is a perfect instance of
Sure.
that. So that's exactly what Goha is doing, and that's how you gain more and more power in a city, is that everything becomes your business. Your influence is through everything, and everything that maybe those small-time businesses and people that own the shop through somebody generations, they didn't want to sell to you. They didn't want to conform to you. Okay, well, we'll just drive them out of business then. They're gone. That problem's taken care of, and now everything is ours.
Yeah.
And so you also get that through the episode,
Yeah,
too.
and I feel like when you're a kid, you don't realize the ramifications that stuff like that has. But when you're older, you're like, damn, it's kind of a messed up world, isn't
Right.
it?
Yeah.
And
it
so,
really is.
yeah, I did feel that a little, especially with the facial recognition. You bring up
Yes.
a whole thing with the classism that the show has played on a little bit. Yeah, some really interesting dystopian themes.
Right. There was actually one thing that came to mind that Pete had brought up initially. That even though, yes, this is a filler episode, I feel like there's certain ideas that are highlighted that are important to the show as a whole. And yes, like Rush Duels is spreading to other elementary schools, other parts of town, right? Or like other towns, as they were saying. But I feel like it also marks a shift in duelist attitudes, because it's not just Rush Duels that the kids want. Like, they want just change from our structured Goha style
Yeah.
dueling. Because yes, this is one weird extreme where he wants to mix ramen and dueling, but it highlights the idea that like kids want to make up their own rules for this game and like get them into the game so they can play it the way they want to and not the way Goha wants them to play it.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it even goes to where is that popular restaurant, right? It's in the middle of the city, right? It's modern, it's fashionable, it looks clean. Where's the restaurant that our friends were hanging out at? It's all these metal
Right.
shacks, and that speaks to like just gentrification and all that stuff.
Yeah.
If you're shoving the poorer people of social class into one section,
Yep.
and then that's how it is treated. So
Right.
those are things kids will never pick up on. Something.
Right.
But that's, I feel like, more for the adults that we get those greater themes.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. I mean, it's really well said. That conversation got very deep. I was
Right, I mean,
I did not
it's
expect it.
Yeah, I didn't expect it either, but it was something I
You
noticed,
guys are
yeah.
spot on. I
Yeah.
don't disagree with anything that you're saying.
Absolutely.
And that's why I was never too worried about that, about the show being too dumbed down. And I don't feel like it really is. I know that's a concern that a lot of people had. I know some people feel that way. But, like, besides the character designs, like, I always had a feeling that it would still feel like a Yu-Gi-Oh! And it does. Six
does.
episodes in, it still does feel like a Yu-Gi-Oh! To me. What did you think of the episode?
I liked it a lot.
Okay, I figured
Yeah.
that was an episode that you
Yeah.
would probably
Yeah,
enjoy.
'cause it
Just the
was,
comedic gag.
Exactly, the comedic gag. I was very excited about Ramen Boy.
Right, of course. Ramen Boy.
So it was. I really enjoyed it. I was laughing the whole time. I thought it was really good.
Good. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. The end of this episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like that story. You know that story? You know what I'm talking about? You know this? You know about this?
I don't know
It's
what
like
he's
that
talking
story
about.
when that Britain scientist or Britain explorer, I'm paraphrasing, British explorer,
Christopher Columbus.
she was in Britain, was...
He did go there.
Yes, I was.
I know, I'm not lying. They stayed in a hotel or a house in the middle of the woods. You've probably heard variations of this story. They stay at this house, and they're there, people are there, or the hotel. They leave the house, they leave the hotel. They try to go back to it a couple weeks later, and there's no record of the house. It's completely gone. And this is a real story. I have to find the story.
Yeah, I'm
but
not
this-
exactly sure of the story that you're referring to,
Well,
but I've heard those like it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
neither has Shadow Realm Z. He said never. I never heard the story.
Well, I have to research it because it's a very famous story of I'm pretty sure it was a British scientist that experienced this, and it reminded me a little bit of that, where you go and you're involved in all this stuff, you leave, and then you go back probably a couple days later, and
It's gone.
it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone. It's pretty terrifying that they were there.
They experienced
I don't know.
it.
There's something about that just
No, I get
that's
it.
a little creepy. Maybe the whole setting
It
of
makes
it
you
too. That
question-
you're underground,
right.
and it makes you question, like,
Your sanity almost. Like, I know I experienced this. We all experienced it, right?
yeah,
It's like,
yeah. But like, even more so. Forget about the horror example. Even more so to the actual plot of the story. Does this really confirm that this was planted there by a Goha employee who was disgruntled with the company that some of us speculated on? Because Goha quickly removes it. If Goha never wanted Rush Duels to be a thing, wouldn't they have never put that there in the first place? Like, why would you have that there only to have someone use it the way it's intended to be used?
and then remove it.
And then remove it. Something's weird
Something's
there.
weird.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, what did you guys make of that ending scene? That, to me, was the best part of the episode.
I agree. Yeah, it was the best
I,
part of the episode.
I feel like it complicates things, honestly, because I feel like the original theory of, like, yes, a disgruntled former Goha employee, like, leaving it there to change the sort of structure of the way things are happening, but I feel like that's almost too simple now. I feel like that's too straightforward, and, like, it's still a possibility, but I feel like there's other things at play that we haven't realized yet.
Yeah.
Because the big thing is for it to disappear. Like, it would make sense if a Goha employee put it there, but why is it gone all of a sudden?
There was
Yeah.
also a huge door in that room.
Yes.
And the door disappeared too?
Was the door part? I thought the door was part of the relic.
Part of the relic, yeah.
Yeah. I
Wasn't
guess.
that
Yeah, that was the road opening up. Remember, you're
So-
creating your own road.
So
Yeah.
the door is part of the device that they have.
Yes.
And
Yes,
the
but it
door
didn't actually
leads
work.
to a different dimension.
The door wasn't.
I
Physical.
mean, I don't know if I say
You
it
don't
like
think
that.
the door was physical?
No.
It was a hologram.
Yeah, everything
Yeah.
was a hologram.
Yeah.
They
Oh
walked
yeah,
right
you're
in.
right. You're right. I thought the door was more in a literal sense.
I
but
think
you don't
it was
so.
more of like, hey, like this is just like a figurative, symbolic thing of
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're going somewhere new. You know, that's why the bright light was there and everything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, exactly.
you know, they probably were just in the same old abandoned underground, room. That was it.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
There's a deleted scene where they walk and there's just a wall there, and they go, oh well, I guess we just go back up the other
Yeah.
way. And
Yeah.
that was it. We just didn't get to see that part.
I wasn't the dialogue in the beginning of episode 2 like walk through the door and face greater challenges?
But it was. I think it was metaphoric.
Yeah.
I
was a
took it more
hologram.
literal.
It's a
I took it more
hologram.
literal. I took it more literal that there was a door that they need to reach, and
Yeah, I think she like Rook literally
install
not
it to
Rook.
everyone.
Yuga, I think literally walks into it.
Yes,
Like-
he does. He walked right into
Yeah.
it.
so
That did
you,
happen.
so you guys think you guys don't think it's literal?
No, not at all.
The
No,
only
because
thing,
it literally wasn't.
yeah.
No, I mean
in
I
that
mean,
moment,
the future,
in
the
that moment,
future.
it's not
I'm
there.
used to Zexa
Yeah.
with the door. That why
The
that's-
only
I
way
think
that
it's
could
possible.
connect in my mind is eventually, I would imagine our heroes are going to go to the top of Goha in the corporation.
There
somewhat.
probably will be
Maybe
a
they
door.
will find a door, and it's like a reference back to the disgruntled employee created
Yeah.
something that looked
Yeah.
Goha-like. So in episode 60 or something, they find that door that maybe Mr. Goha is behind. It's like, wait, isn't this the same door that we started this whole thing with? That I think is the only way it comes back.
Okay, I like that. That's good. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that was really crazy about the episode. Yeah, felt fillerish. I guess we could. Do we have any donations?
Yeah, we do.
Thank you guys so much.
Woo!
Really appreciate it. And I guess we could read a few donations.
Yeah, you want to do a few?
Yeah, we'll do a few donations and then maybe unless you guys have something else to say about the episode, maybe get into the episode 7 summary, a little bit of discussion for episode 7.
Love it.
Make
Sure.
predictions on how old the girl is in the episode. She's at a bar. She looks like she's 8.
I don't know if we want to go down that
Yeah.
road.
Well,
Do
do you think she has an alcoholic beverage in the next episode?
No, it's probably apple juice or something.
That's what I think.
It's
I feel like
it's a
it will largely
reference.
go unaddressed.
But every time a Yu-Gi-Oh character has gone to a bar, it's happened twice now. They've always addressed what the person is.
Oh,
drinking.
really?
They probably
Yeah.
will.
You say with the milk, and then a character in Zexa
milk.
with a milkshake. So
Hey, it's one of his taunts. Remember?
yeah.
I've had apple juice at a bar before, Jarrett.
Yeah, you could get apple juice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Shirley Temples. It's a completely non-alcoholic drink that you get at a
Yeah.
bar.
Yeah.
Well, now have you ever gotten an alcoholic Shirley Temple?
I don't think
No,
that's
don't
I don't
think
even think
that's
that's
a
a thing. I
All
guess
right.
you could
Next donut.
put alcohol in it.
Don't know.
You
And then,
probably
of course,
put
we
vodka.
do have our predictions coming up for Yuga versus Goha Girl. If you are not playing in the game of the Pick'em League, follow the link in the description. Make sure you email your pick to YuGiOHPickEm@gmail.com. Whoever ends up with the most points will be winning a brand new gaming console, probably a PlayStation 5 or the Xbox. So it's definitely worth it to play, guys. It's completely free to play. I know we have 6 people who are 6-0 at the moment. Jarrett, who you just shouted out, being one of them. So, we will be giving our insights. Pete right now is 5-1. Everyone else except Kate is 4-2, and Kate's 3-3. So that's our standings. But we're going to be getting into the picks, Yuga versus Goha Girl, in a little
Big
bit.
bow.
Let's do some donations.
All right. So we have our very first one from the night was from Francis the 10th Emperor.
Thank you,
Love
10.
'em. Love
Thank you,
'em.
dude. That was pre-stream, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was
Before we even
pre-stream,
go
yes.
live.
Thank you, dude.
Y'all notice Nick T looks like a young Joseph Stalin.
I'm honored. If for those of you who don't get the reference,
Is that a compliment?
it is
Yeah,
a compliment. Look up the
I wasn't
picture. Just
sure
look
about
up.
that.
Go to Google. Just type in young Stalin, young Joseph Stalin. You'll find the picture. Surprisingly handsome guy.
Yeah, but I still don't know if that's someone I would.
It's 100% not an honor. I'm just
okay,
gonna tell you that
okay.
right
It's definitely not an honor. but it's surprising to say the least. Yeah, kind of a hunk.
Yeah.
Bow. 10th, thank you very much, man, for the donation.
I appreciate it, 10th.
Yeah, thank you.
Next is $5 from Goose.
Goose. Thank you, my man.
What
Thank
up,
you,
fam?
dude.
Glad to see y'all again. Starting it off by sending everyone positive vibes.
Dude,
Oh, thank you,
Goose
man.
has been the king of that.
Yeah, Goose is great. Goose will sometimes just come by and he'll throw me like a buck and say, hey, can't stay long. Even if he doesn't donate, he's like, hey, can't stay long. Just send in some love, man. I'm like, dude,
He sends me cat comics on Instagram.
he's
I love
he's
that.
the best. He
Like a couple of times a week, and it makes me so happy.
yeah, we all need a Goose in our life. Really.
do all
just-
need a Goose in our life.
that
Great
that
guy.
is true, Davis. Dylan did at one point try to call yourself a young Leonardo DiCaprio. Let's not forget that you
say
did try that.
Yeah.
Right, but I don't disagree with that. Thank you, Davis. But what?
He's quoting
but
you.
What's the? Leonardo
You don't.
DiCaprio's a
You
good
don't
guy.
look like a young Leonardo DiCaprio.
You don't.
Maybe a
At
young
all.
Nick Jonas.
No, these are horrible
You know-
comparisons.
He's also like
I'm
your age.
quoting people who have said this to me.
a young linguine.
You remember?
Young-
Yes!
Young linguine.
All right, next donation.
Yes.
Still linguini. Put
Goose,
it in
thank you
hashtag
for the
chat.
donation.
Next, we have $5 from KP. We actually have 2 from KP.
Okay, thank you so
So
much.
we have
Kay.
Kay.
$5 and $2. So
Thank you, Kay.
I'll read both at once. So what's up, my beautiful duelists? Filler season 2 is over. Here to root and support as always. Heart. Has everyone eaten dinner yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Second
We
one,
did
yes.
eat dinner.
We
Yes,
did
we
all
did.
eat dinner.
Yes, us four got
Wow.
what is it? Mexican food?
No.
No, it's like
No.
Hawaiian food.
Well, it's
Not
like
really.
not really. It's like surf
Yeah.
Surf food.
surf cuisine.
A,
Yeah.
pla-
Yeah.
a
Cuisine's
place
a good-
similar to Surf Taco called Waco's Tacos. Great place. And yeah, it was delicious. But Kay,
Wicked.
sending love right back to you. Thank you so much for the donation.
Jordan,
I
what
really
did
do.
you have
I've
for
been
dinner?
What did you have for
confused
dinner?
about
I went out to dinner.
Where'd you go?
Actually,
I went out to
Waco's or
dinner
Waco's.
today.
Yeah, you never know.
That's
Don't
big.
know.
That's big.
Could be Waco
Went out
at
to
this
dinner.
point.
Where'd you go out to dinner?
Someplace
Never
in
know the
Long
actual
Branch.
name.
Did you
Drop
eat
a name.
outside?
I ate outside. Yep.
And
I
what'd you
actually
get?
went out to dinner. I was actually waited on today.
Wow.
Is it
That's
weird?
huge.
Is it
It's
strange?
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually weird not having to do my own dishes.
Do you think as a country we've beaten coronavirus?
We're not getting into that in
We're
this
not
podcast.
doing this. We are not doing it. This is my life.
That's our political podcast.
There we go.
Oh my god.
Which will never happen.
Dude, what a loaded question.
Kay,
Um,
thank you.
Thanks, Kay.
We have $5 from Jack Knight 21.
Oh, thank you so
Yeah.
much, Jack.
Hey Dylan, there's a tourney online since no real ones. Would you like to see my list on Twitter? It's Burning Abyss.
Yes, BAs. Jack, I always love seeing your deck list, man. Please send it to me. Let me know how you do in the tourney. Yeah, DM it to me right now, and I'll check it out after the stream. And thank you for the donation, Jack. I always want to call you Jack Rhodes, but Jack Knight. I got to remember you changed your name. Love you, man.
oh,
Thank
that's
you, dude.
okay. Now that
Say-
makes
say
Now
sense.
that
Jack.
makes sense. Now that makes sense.
Same Jack.
Yes.
Same Jack. Yeah, same Jack.
Okay.
Same Jack.
Was changing your name on us. We're
Yeah,
getting
that's all right.
confused.
That's all right. He's a good guy.
I'm already easily confused.
Exactly. You can't be doing this to me.
You got $100 from the famous
What?
anonymous anime lover.
Wow.
You're just gonna drop
Just
that?
drop
Oh my
it.
God.
Casual drop.
So
Oh
casual.
my God. You got $100. Are you serious?
I'm serious,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Yeah, I am serious.
Anonymous. Jesus. Come
Says,
on.
hi Dylan, Kate, Pete, Nikki T, and welcome back, Jordan. I've been dual links. It's addicting.
I told you. I warned you about that, Anonymous.
I'm almost done Lot D Link Evolution. Kate, book recommendation. Part of your world. Oh, it's The Little Mermaid. What if Ursula won against Ariel? You ever seen that book?
I haven't seen that
Yes,
book,
they're
but I'll
available at
definitely
Barnes and
have to-
Noble.
I'll
Yep.
have to get it.
Ooh. Yep.
I just finished the book that I was reading for an entire year because I'm very sporadic with my reading. I read and for like 2 days straight, and then I put it down and I don't come back to it for months. So I'm just about to start the Conceal Don't Feel. So I will.
Oh, the
yeah,
Frozen.
yeah. So hopefully next time we do this, I'll have a little bit of an opinion on that. So thank you for the recommendation as well.
I bought you that book.
You did buy me that book. You're the best.
Good guy.
Thank you. Anonymous, seriously, again from the bottom of my heart. I feel like I've said this to you like 27 times now, probably even more than that, honestly, if you actually counted. Thank you so much for that donation. That is just very, very kind. And I mean, I really don't have words. I really don't have words. I really don't. You're always welcome here on this channel, obviously.
Absolutely.
I mean, all of you are, but like, seriously, I mean, you have helped me out more than really almost anyone. I mean, I can't thank you enough for the kindness that you show me on this channel. So again, thank you so much. Sending nothing but good vibes and love your way. And I hope you have a great night, and I hope you have a great time watching the stream. And I hope work has been going well and is still, you're staying safe, and wish you the best. Thank you, Anonymous.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Very impassioned. Yeah,
I
she's
was
the
waiting
best.
for your oh shit. I was waiting for that classic,
Yeah,
Well,
comment to it. You didn't even have it.
No, I didn't. Because I didn't have time to even process it. Now, if Jordan had said, "Yeah, got a donation from Anonymous Anime Lover," then I would have been, the anxiety would have quickly
been ready.
spiked, because I'm like, oh God, she did it again, didn't she?
Oops, she did it again.
Oops, she did it again, and yeah. Instead, Jordan, you got $100. I mean, just the way you said that was so.
It was perfect. It really was. Thank you.
Perfect.
Oh,
execution.
Anonymous, seriously, you made my entire night. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow. This is great.
Great girl.
Just entirely.
Yeah.
Your computer froze?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
no.
Jordan's
Entirely.
computer froze. So you know what? We are going to
Change it back.
let's get into episode 7.
do
How
it.
about that?
Sounds good to me.
Episode 7, and this is exciting for me because I think this is going to be the episode that really, really ramps things up. I really do believe that. Let me get the summary up. And for anyone that does not want spoilers, even though I promise you the spoilers really aren't that bad, you can obviously, I guess, get off the stream. There's no nice way for me to say it because
Or just mute the stream for a moment.
you can mute it. No, because then we're going to make our predictions. I
Yeah.
mean, the next few minutes or so
Yeah.
we will be talking.
Go take a little snack break.
Yeah.
A little bathroom
Yeah.
break, maybe some water.
But I
Hydrate.
will say, there's nothing too spoilerish
Not
about
really.
this.
No.
And it's good. So.
Well, yeah.
Episode 7, which will be next week's episode, the transfer student is a grade schooler. Goha Corps has been having trouble eradicating rush duels. They currently have their eyes on Yuga's secret notes. Goha has a group of 6 executives known as Top of Hexagon, and now one of them will be sent to Goha 7th as a transfer student. And we know the character that is being sent as that transfer student from Top of Hexagon, one of Goha's executives, is going to be this girl. We don't know her name yet, so we have to call her the Goha girl. This girl that is at a bar, and then obviously dolls up a little bit to pose as a younger grade schooler. And we do know that she will be dueling Yuga, according to more preview images. So definitely the girl from the shot in the opening where you had that really short girl.
Right.
I don't know how old she is. I mean, it might be one of those cases where she is a lot older than she looks. Anime does that from time to time. What are your thoughts, though, on hearing that summary? Because it hypes me up tremendously.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I was hyped. I feel like that one bit is a bit of a spoiler because a lot of a lot of our predictions has been like, oh, who is this girl? And we just kind of get it. But that's fine because I'm really excited to see like sort of this sort of almost like espionage scenario going on where Goha is actively sending someone to try to learn and like infiltrate rush duels here.
They're finally getting involved firsthand.
Right.
That's
exactly.
what's really exciting
yeah.
to me.
Because they've always been watching from a distance, sort of just observing what Yuga. Oh, I guess in a way they have been actively trying to shut it down with the whole wiping away the comments and such. But still, like they're getting physical in a way because they're actually sending a human being there, and I think that's pretty crazy, especially if this girl is actually just a little girl.
Yeah.
I mean, of all people to send in a situation,
But the fact that there's an image of her at the bar by herself,
right?
It makes me think that she is not a young girl. It makes me think that she is a little older and just looks younger.
Which I find deeply disturbing.
Yeah, 'cause she looks really young. I mean, she does.
Yeah, that'd be really messed up. That's like the orphan scenario. If any of you are familiar with that movie, it's like a little girl who was actually like in her 30s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's the creepy.
Very
Yeah.
creepy.
That's what'll be happening in
terrifying.
episode 7.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, it actually reminds me a bit of Assassination Classroom, actually, where there's multiple attempts by the government to send like students into the class to really sort of take over this whole situation, but they're not really students.
Mm-hmm.
So I really get that same kind of vibe here, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. For the pure sense that Goha is getting involved really, really excites me. And then when you have the other elements of the image where it seems the top of Hexagon, the 6 Goha executives are at a round table with an audience. A lot of people didn't see that, but if you go back and look at that image, there is an audience watching the round table, which is really weird. I don't know who the audience is. I don't know why it's not a private meeting, but we're going to get dialogue from not only this girl, obviously, that's going to be the main focus of the episode, but from potentially all of the executives and potentially Mr. Goha. It'll be a little more than, huh, huh, huh,
You
huh.
think it will be.
Well,
Iconic laugh.
maybe it won't be. But I think that,
Oh, no, you continue their thought.
But I think for that reason, it's going to be one of the more plot-heavy episodes that we've gotten.
Sure.
And I think it's going to be a really enjoyable episode that continues to expand and build the world up.
Now, I just want to ask, because I don't know if I forget, I don't know if anyone else had noticed. Was it actually a round table? Because if so, that bothers me deeply.
It's a hexagon.
It is a hexagon? Okay,
I'm
good.
pretty sure it was a hexagonic table.
Hexagonal.
I'm pretty sure it was a hexagonal table. Did I say it right that
Yes,
time?
there we go. Thank you. I'm sorry. That was...
Yeah,
But-
you're good. What are your thoughts, Pete?
No, I just every time you say the word audience, I just think audience.
Audience.
Every
We
time.
haven't done a jackpot.
Dude,
song.
yeah.
I know
God.
it's been a minute,
Dylan,
but
the
yeah,
ideal game show host.
I'm excited. I'm excited to finally feel like at least we're getting into the meat of this show,
Yes.
where we're getting our main antagonist, and we're kind of figuring out their little espionage situation going on. I do think it is a young girl. I don't think it's someone 30, going on 13 kind of thing. I think it's definitely someone who's probably.
Oh, my God.
Well, I didn't see what you intended me to see, but
It was a hexagonal table.
Okay,
like
fair
intended.
enough.
Hexagonal table. With,
There you go.
yeah, okay, got it. Yes,
with the
definitely a
audience,
hexagon.
With the audience
There you go.
watching.
But
Audience.
I'm excited to get into that stuff, and I think I'm torn. Like, we'll get into predictions of what's about to happen.
Predictions will be interesting.
But to go in there and try to get his secret notes on kind of how Rush Tools works, I like that they're being that aggressive already in episode 7. To me, it's either one of two things, right? You're either getting the notes to figure out a way to shut it down, so then that maybe feeds into the theory that it was some kind of disgruntled employee, and it was someone from Goha that set this up, gave Yuga that ability to create his own road, right?
Right.
Or it's they go, hey, this is pretty popular. If we take
Capitalize.
this, what if we capitalize this, market this now, and we'll make the money,
Yeah.
completely erase Yuga off the scene. We created this. This little kid didn't do anything. We did that. So I think it's going to go one or two ways.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see that ladder. I think that'd be really interesting to see them try to
Be really messed
capitalize
up.
on- yeah.
But
would be.
it fits with everything they're doing in the rest of the city, so that would
Exactly.
make sense, right?
Absolutely. Well, I think it's very and what's weird is we still don't have the cast list for episode 7, which should have came out on Friday, so we're still waiting for that, but I think it's time to make our predictions on who's going to win this duel. Before we do that, though, what are your thoughts on...
So I'm not gonna lie, I was trying to copy all of the donations just in case Jordan's thing, and I didn't hear the summary.
Okay, that's... Oh, do you want to see it?
Yeah, and
Okay.
I tried to pull it up on your phone, but it was gone.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Yeah. So
We should have like a button that just plays the intro, like in the midst of
I know, but I'll get a
quiet-
copyright.
I know.
I played during one of my recent pack openings, I played Playmaker's theme in the background, and when the video uploaded, I got a copyright claim. on it.
immediately.
Yeah, so they're on top of the music stuff. It's always risky. But,
We'll just have to recreate it.
what are your thoughts? Immediate thoughts.
immediate thoughts, that sounds very interesting. I think this episode was the last, not last, but I feel like it was as fun and silly as it was because it's going to start getting more serious.
Yes.
So I think that's why this episode was what it was, and I'm excited as Pete said, to start getting into the meat of the show and get more of the plot. and
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely. Did you text in your prediction?
I didn't, though, because I'm still so torn on what I want to do.
There's a lot of
it's-
people that are torn.
I
And
was
remember,
very torn.
So
yeah,
it's Yuga versus Goha Girl.
Goha girl, yeah, that girl in the preview. Well, while Pete and Kate decide, I guess we'll read a couple more donations.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
Alrighty, so
Again, just to remind you of the standings, Pete is 5-1. Pressure's on him. Me, Nick T, and Cal are 4-2. Cal has texted in his pick, and Kate is 3-3. We have 6 people that are 6-0. If you want to play the game, just follow the link in the description.
Might as well just not stress about it because I'm already doing bad.
No,
Well,
come on.
There's a lot on the
Always
line.
your time for redemption.
That is true. That is true. What's on the line for me?
Donation.
Exactly.
You could always count on Nick T to miss a couple. So,
That was stated. That was
Caliber
stated.
said that. Yeah.
And then you agreed with them.
I laughed. I didn't agree.
No, you agree. There is
Play back
photo
the tape.
evidence.
So you had donated in response to the ramen response to the ramen conversation earlier,
Love it.
and he said the ramen pink thing is called a Naruto fish cake.
There you go.
Oh, so it's a fish cake.
That's what that's what I think. Yeah.
So it sounds delicious if it were not falling off the eyelids of
Yeah,
a.
Yeah,
eyelids
that's
dirty
the
old
problem
man.
I have. I don't know
A
the
dirty
problem.
old man.
Well, okay, we don't
I
know.
mean,
We don't
he
know if
was
he was
lying on the
dirty.
ground.
He was lying on the ground.
Yeah, but he might have just showered
He's
before.
like lying on the cold hard ground.
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if he showered. He is someone who
If-
has a restaurant.
Hold on. If someone showers,
Whoa.
if I shower right now and then I just quickly lay on the ground and then I get up, does that make me dirty?
No, but he's held to a higher standard because he runs a restaurant, and so
exactly.
he
You're
has
not
certain
cooking
health
our
regulations
food.
to regard.
Also, have you seen that floor?
Did you
It's like
see it?
concrete. It looked filthy.
It looked
Have you ever
disgusting.
put all of your life savings into a restaurant?
No, but let me ask you a question. You go into somewhere like Wendy's, right?
Okay.
And the employee who's going to make your burger, your Baconator, is laying on the floor in the back, right? They just showered before they came into work 10 minutes ago. They're now laying on that dirty floor. Do you want them to get up and make your
And
burger?
when they make the burger, they'll have the gloves on like they always do?
The gloves that they just laid on the floor with?
What if I put the burger meat on my eyelids after laying on the floor?
Yeah, I
And then
put
let
the
them
nice
fall onto
tomato
the bone.
slices
I
to
think you
spell
guys
it.
are obsessing over the floor. The floor is irrelevant in this equation. The part that's nauseating is even if you just showered, putting it on your eye and where your eyelashes
Yeah, 100%. The whole thing is a health
Wait, so
code
the
violation.
thing
All of
you're
it is
taking
bad.
issue with is the fact that I called him a dirty old man.
are. Yeah, that's my issue. I mean, let's cut the guy some slack.
Fair
He's
enough.
losing-
Nick T was a little harsh.
Maybe
Yeah,
a
okay.
little harsh.
Come on,
But
this
still,
guy's losing
All right,
everything.
I wouldn't
Alright.
be eating
I
that ramen.
sympathize with Pops.
I do sympathize with him a little, but you got to say,
Pops.
first impressions do mean a lot. And the first time we see him, he is shuddering in the corner.
He gave
He's
me the bad
upset.
chills.
He's upset, but yeah, exactly. It was straight out of a horror movie, and his like face was all wiggly. It was very weird.
All right. Anyway, Pete, did you make your prediction?
Also, thank you for answering my question.
You didn't even do a donation yet.
I
You
feel
got
more-
another one.
Thank you for your donation.
I feel more
Take a couple
cultured
more.
now knowing that. Actually,
Naruto fish buns.
cake.
Fish cake.
Fish bun boy.
We have a donation from Davis.
Davis. Thank you, Davis. Thank you, man.
Gakuto became Karen, calling him chronic complainer.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That is spot on.
That
He
was
very
one
upset
of
about
that was one of the funnier moments when he called him a chronic complainer and then he started freaking out and the robot just calmly goes, "This is exactly what I meant." That was good.
And the fact his little like monologue before like approaching it's like having like the appearance of someone from like a noble family. And
Yeah.
it's like you sound very cocky to begin with. So you
And
kind of
and you're the president of the school council. Like
Yeah.
you're not that important, honestly.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Well, I'm just saying
Whoa.
he's
Have
acting
you
like-
watched anime before?
He's
bro?
acting like he's royalty. That's what I mean.
For a second, I thought he was going to go down that route of like, do you know who my family is, kind of thing. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, we're going to get some backstory, and then no, it didn't go that way.
That would have been a real Karen move.
Yeah.
But Davis, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. That's funny.
You got $5 from Otis Cunningham.
Thank you so much,
Oh.
Otis. Thank you, dude.
Says, hey guys, great to see you all again. Finished a shift at Universal. Most annoying thing is telling people to keep their masks on. Stay safe.
You stay safe.
Yeah,
as well.
Otis
Yeah,
Best of
me
luck with
too.
that.
If
Otis
people
has
aren't
been
keeping
back.
their masks on, I think it's you who has to stay safe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please be
People
careful.
are crazy.
Absolutely. Otis has been back at Universal. I just saw today that Florida, I think, had the highest cases reported so far.
Yeah.
So things aren't looking great over there. So Otis, stay safe, man. Stay healthy, especially because you're working in such a high traffic environment, which obviously puts you at, unfortunately, a bit of a higher risk.
Yeah.
So you're a trooper for working through this, especially at Universal.
Absolutely.
Such a high volume.
Yeah, I mean, you really
Yeah.
are. So
Even though they're at the limited capacity, it's still a lot of people that you're in contact with. So
yeah, and then I
definitely
mean,
stay safe.
you get it. You get it too.
No,
the
I
people that
100% get it.
because you're in the customer
It
service
is
industry
a
as
very aggravating thing all day long to tell people to the same things that they know for 3-4 months now. I mean, I shouldn't have to tell you to put a mask on.
Oh,
That
I
you can't come
forgot
in the
it.
store if you don't have a mask.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw people putting their shirts up over their nose, and no, that does not qualify as a mask. Like, it's a very aggravating thing.
It just
Now you had one that someone said that they couldn't wear a mask because they had asthma, right?
Yes, that was one. There was another
Is that a
person.
valid excuse?
No, it is not a valid
Okay.
excuse.
No,
We
and
have
if you
people who
have
work there that
asthma-
have asthma.
I didn't think
you're
it
going to
was.
be more affected if you get COVID.
Exactly.
Because it's in your. Oh my.
Yeah, we had someone who said that they couldn't read the sign that was on the door. So then we said, well, there's also a picture that's attached to the sign.
They
Oh,
couldn't
I
read
didn't
and
see
are
it.
they completely oblivious to everything that's going
Yeah,
on?
they-
couldn't
So I guess they
read
can't
that.
hear either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The excuses, the ass pull excuses are my favorite
Ridiculous.
when you tell me the stories. So Otis, Pete knows firsthand, and
Stay safe, brother. I
Yes,
get it.
please.
yeah. So thank you for the donation, man. Stay safe out there, dude.
You got $20 from Latrell.
Oh,
Latrell.
Jesus, dude.
Latrell.
Latrell, thank
The
you so
dude.
much, man. We were talking about you tonight over dinner,
Yeah.
man.
We
So
were.
it's good
All
to hear
good
from you.
things.
Oh, of course, always
Yeah,
good things.
Absolutely.
Always good things. So thank you, Latrell. Thank you, dude.
It says, "Hey homies, the ramen archetype could be a nice OTK deck in rush duels if they continue it."
I was
Yeah.
actually really impressed with his like that duel. Like
The-
just kept buffing himself and
Yeah.
The
like,
ability to revive and harm.
Yeah, it
other
was pretty good.
monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that being a powerful OTK deck. Maybe the Ramen Rush Duel deck will be like the Lunalite deck in Speed Duels. Maybe that'll be my deck. I'm kidding.
There's a way you did
I
that.
don't know why I did that, but no, the Ramen deck was fun. My favorite was the one spell that was like high calorie oil fat or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yes.
That
I
was the
love
name
that
of the
one.
spell. Like what?
And I liked
The
my
pot
God,
ones?
The pot ones where the magician was in the
In the
ramen.
pod, you
Yeah.
could see he was like starting to feel sick. Yeah, that was good.
I just like the call out where he gave all his information, even his
Yeah.
Oh
blood
my
type when
God,
he was
yes.
introduced.
July 11th. I'm
And
a
then
cancer.
Roman just goes, "So why do you wear a mask?"
I know.
Like
Yes.
that was
I
pretty
think
funny.
I forgot about that, but I think that's one of my favorite parts of the
Yep.
episode.
Roman's the
Yeah.
best, man.
I love Roman. Roman Empire.
But
Roman
Roman
Empire.
Empire. But Latrell, seriously, my man, thank you so much.
Well,
dude.
he did say something else too.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
He said, Rook really ate the ramen after the Naruto fell from the shop's owner's face.
He knows what it
Oh,
is,
so he
too.
knows what he's talking. He knew it was Naruto.
I didn't. Wow.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
I
uncultured.
feel uneducated and uncultured.
But yes, yeah,
and
no.
disgusting.
Rook obviously
I'm
has.
ashamed.
I don't even know. No.
That was
hygiene.
messed up.
Yeah.
That was not even just the hygiene part. That
The
was
fact
like
that he would just scoop.
you haven't
swipe
even
it.
been with us the whole time. You just come. What if even if it wasn't the last bowl of ramen? I ordered that. It's my order. You just
Yeah.
come in and eat it. You didn't even pay for this.
There's
I mean,
no
thankfully it
idea
wasn't
the
the last.
stakes.
You don't sleep with another man's wife, and you don't slurp from another man's bowl. My mom taught me that when I was very young.
I've heard
and
her
so
say
when
that.
and yeah, I know you have. And so when Rook did this, it was messed up.
It
was-
put strain on their relationship for sure.
Yeah, I think it did.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
really messed up.
I mean, literally, think about that. That's like you went up to the counter, you ordered food, you paid for it. I just came in, I just ate it.
Well, I don't know if anyone
Yeah.
Just
did.
no context,
Well,
nothing.
Your back was
Yeah.
turned.
Yeah,
Who
it's
does
messed up.
that?
I feel
Really.
like that ruins friendships, man.
That
Yeah.
does ruin friendships.
Yeah.
If honestly, if it was the five of us and Calibro strolled in,
Oh no.
lanky ass Calibro strolls in, and he starts slurping from the ramen bowl,
Violence would ensue.
I would never talk to him again.
Damn.
I would rather him burn my house.
He knew as soon as he said rather, it was going down there.
In a very light defensive caliber.
Calibro's here.
Wow.
Perfect.
In a very
Perfect.
in Calibro's defense.
What's up, Cal?
In Calibro's defense, I feel like you would never talk to him again for a lot less. Well,
He just goes over a single bowl of ramen.
What are the odds that he's here? Calibro never
What's up,
watches
Cal?
my streams. It's good to see you, dude. It's good to see you. He never watches these streams.
Perfect timing.
I still
I
wasn't over the lanky ass Calibro thing. Calibro looks at lanky ass.
I can
Calibro.
say that because I'm lankier. As
Right.
long as
Yeah.
you have the lankiness within you, you're allowed to say it.
That's fair.
No, he's not really lanky anymore. He used to be in high school.
he's pretty ripped.
He's jacked, dude.
It just got on as you started that sentence.
Perfect
That's
timing.
such good timing.
Oh man. Well, that's just that sums up the week. Calibro, it's great to hear from you, man. It really
Love
is.
you.
We're doing our predictions soon, so you texted it in, and I'll have yours.
Oh
Pete,
my
did you
God,
text yours
I
in
didn't
yet?
text mine in yet. I
You-
didn't.
You got to text it in.
Stalling,
soon.
okay? We're
Yeah.
nervous over here.
I know.
right?
Well, you're 5-1. You got a lot to lose.
It's not even
bro.
about that. It's just like I'm really torn about how this is gonna go.
Yeah.
I know what I'm going with.
And I
There we
always
go.
feel like you have some insider information. You know,
Everyone
and
always,
that's why.
I'm 4-2.
His intuition just not never,
No.
but rarely fails.
He's got that look, where like you're Konami. They gift you packs and things like that. They might slide every now and again in an email like, "Hey, I just want to let you know, blah 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 wins next duel."
Wow,
I've seen
that'd
some.
be
I
wrong.
will say, and Caliber can vouch this. I have seen an episode of one of the 3 shows that never aired. It was an unaired episode.
And right there is my
that,
point.
that no one really knows even
That's what I
exists.
consider insider trading. That's what I consider right there.
Trading. Insider
I
trading.
don't know about that.
Trading secrets.
Anyway, Latrell, back to the donation. Thank you, Latrell. I guess we'll do another donation.
Yeah, we can do
Don't
another one.
know.
Okay.
Nicholas Horton is here.
Woo!
Oh, Nicholas, thank you, my friend.
Says it's good to see everyone back together again.
Yes, thank you, Nick.
Nick, I
Good
think
to
it's
be
Yeah.
I think it's like 3 a.m. over in the great UK. So thank you so much for the
All right.
the donation, and thank you for the kind message, man. It's great to be back. It's great to be back with everyone, and including you guys. It's
Yeah,
just-
great to have you guys here with us.
Yeah, it really is. We're like a big family. So thank you, man.
Yeah.
Okay. We will do the rest of the donations, but we can't keep these lovely people waiting. We got to do predictions.
Killing me, man.
We got to do predictions. We're about an hour in, and that's usually when we do
Right.
the predictions.
He's right.
So
You pick me last.
okay, I will pick you last, but you have to send in your text before we start.
All right.
Okay,
Send it right now.
Jordan,
send
you have
it.
to confirm that you've received
Yeah.
Pete's text.
Yeah.
And
And then we will-
and then it says either Yuga or Goha girl.
Yuha, Goha girl, or draw/no result.
Yep.
That's always an option as well.
The riskier of the options, typically, but
Usually the riskier, but there will be 5 or 6 times that is the result.
yeah.
Draw no result. You're gonna have that a few times.
Did you send it? Full send.
It's been
Yep,
sent,
got
Jordan.
it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Who starts? We'll start with Calibro.
Yeah, that makes
Calibra's pick on Yuga versus Goha Girl is Oda Yuga. Calibro picked Yuga. Didn't give me any explanation or reasoning for it. But he picked Yuga. That's who Calibro went with. Nick T, what about you?
Oda Yuga.
Okay.
Yep. I think at this point, I think we're just still too early on. I mean, yes, he already did lose to Rook, but like in a duel this serious where Goha is trying to infiltrate Rush duels, I can't imagine them doing so successfully yet. I think Yuga's got to win this to keep the Goha off their heels.
Fair enough. Kate,
I picked Goha girl.
really? Goha Girl.
Yeah.
You do not sound confident with that.
I don't.
And-
Still,
and-
it's bold.
Yeah,
It's
you like
bold.
you like to pick bold.
I like the bold choices. Yes.
I like it. I respect
yeah.
it. Is there any
Um,
reason?
It just I felt it in my heart.
Okay, felt it
Wow.
in your heart.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Heart of the
Yeah.
cards.
So we got 2 Yugas and 1 Goha Girl. You want me to go before
I
you?
want you to go.
Okay, I'm gonna go for a while to be honest. This is one that
God.
Just sit back.
this is one that I really do think people are overthinking greatly. To me, this is almost as close to a slam dunk as you could ever get. I really do believe that. I'm
Wow.
picking Yuga.
Wow.
Wow.
See episode
You know what
1.
that was a big fuck you to Kate.
Yeah,
No,
and
that's
also
what that was.
also
That's what
see
I felt.
episode 1 for big slam dunk.
I'm picking Yuga. I'm picking Yuga with the utmost amount of confidence for the sole reason that a girl character is never going to beat the main protagonist in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Wow. Oh my God.
As much as I hate to say that, it just is never going to happen. We've had now 1,000 episodes of this franchise, and the only 2 times that it's happened, Rebecca Hawkins against Yugi. Yugi had the duel 1. He just surrendered out of kindness. And then Yuzu versus Yuya because Yuya forgot how to pendulum summoning. So unless something wonky like that happens in this duel, Yuga's going to win. Girl characters so rarely are able to defeat the main protagonist, so rarely that it's only happened on 2 occasions, and both of the times that it's happened were extremely fluky scenarios. And so just for that reason alone, I feel very confident picking Yuga. But more so than that, there are more interesting matchups that are going to be coming down the line. The one matchup, we know it's coming soon. He just got his scene updated in the opening. We know Roa Kirishima is debuting soon. And Roa Kirishima, I believe, is the rival of this anime. And I think Yuga versus Roa, that duel is going to happen probably within the next 5 to 6 episodes, and that is a much more likely scenario for Yuga to get another L, for Yuga to lose again. I just think that with that upcoming duel, where I know that duel's going to happen soon, and I have no idea what I'm picking for that duel, because that's the next time that I think Yuga realistically has a more than likely chance of losing against the rival and against a character that the show is clearly trying to hype up, who has yet to make his debut. With that being on the horizon, the fact that he just lost to Rook 3 duels ago, I think it was. Yeah, because he beat Gakuto, Roman, and then the Ramen Kid. So 3 duels ago, he already lost. He doesn't need another loss. And then on top of that, a third reason why I'm super confident that Yuga is going to win is if Goha wins and gets Yuga's notes, isn't that the end? Isn't it over? And the first person that is being sent from Goha is going to be able to successfully defeat Yuga. Usually, you send your weakest to analyze the situation, or someone that is maybe not best equipped to completely solve the situation. This isn't Mr. Goha getting involved. This isn't Mr. Goha's right-hand man. Yes, it's someone of importance within Goha Corporation and Top of Hexagon, but with 5 other members of Top of Hexagon that they're going to want to expand on, if this girl beats Yuga right off the bat, then the 5 other members, the bar has already been set that they have to be at that level or better. Otherwise, it's just going to be weird, the execution of it all. So this to me is, I mean, if the upset happens, I'll look back on it and say it is what it is. But I'm very confident about this one that Yuga's going to end up winning.
I do want to say something.
Yeah.
I agree with everything you just said.
Okay, thank you.
But I do find it ironic that you stated that everyone is greatly overthinking this, and you gave the most thought out reasoning I could possibly think of.
It's a good point.
Well,
It's a
okay,
great point.
I shouldn't have said overthinking. I think people are debating this more than necessary.
Fair.
That's what I should have said. Obviously, I overthink. My whole channel is based on me overthinking
Yes.
ludicrous stuff.
I also just want to defend
Ludicrous?
myself a little bit. That I'm 7 episodes into actually watching my first Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, I'm aware.
thing.
And
Fair.
that was in
So you
no
have
way
no
a shot at
precedent
you.
to, yeah.
By the way, that first episode, you got it right. I didn't. So
Boom.
that in no way. By the way, I had that planned out before anyone picked their thoughts. I didn't just think of all of that because
No,
Kate
I
picked
know.
Goha Girl, I'm gonna go in. No, I just really believe that this is as a gimme as any duel we've had so
You
far.
couldn't
Wow.
go in. You just make a whole video on your channel. Why Kate is wrong.
Listen, I'm very confident about Yuga, and the Yuga and Rook duel, that's the other duel that I got wrong besides the first one. That's one that I look back at and I have regrets. I'm like, and I said that. I was feeling that Rook had a really good chance. I went with my gut rather than my mind, and that was, or I went with my mind rather than my gut, and that was a mistake. This is one where if Yuga loses and I get it wrong, I genuinely will not feel bad at all. I'll be like, well, you know what? This is the 3rd time a girl character knocked off, and maybe the first time ever a girl character beat the protagonist without a surrender or a forgotten summoning method occurring, something wonky occurring. I won't feel bad about getting this wrong if Yuga ends up losing, but I don't see it happening for all the reasons listed. Pete?
So I went back and forth. I was one of those people overthinking this.
Yeah.
I'm still pretty torn. I did go with Yuga. To
Jordan
me,
confirm?
as
Okay.
I've said, yes, you proved already that Rook can beat him, but Rook's one of our main quartet that we have going forward here, right? And so he matters in building up that character. This girl, on one end, I want to say, oh, you want to build up the villains, right? You want to build up why these 6 are so important to heading the security for Goha Corporation. But in episode 7, I don't see them already taking down the main protagonist who created Rush Duels, and that's kind of just what I came back to, in that in some way, shape, or form, I think she may give up her identity or some wonkiness might go on in this episode. So let's say the duel is on the line for, oh, well, teach me how you created Rush Duels or your notes or something like that. How is Goha already getting that in the 7th episode?
Yes.
And so that's what I just kept coming back to, that he has to win this. I think it might be a wake-up call. He might be close to losing of like, wow, okay, there's some powerful people out there. Or if she reveals herself, hey, Goha has some powerful people that have my eye on me. But I think he still has to be victorious.
If he loses this duel, it is one of, if not the most shocking losses in the history of the franchise, in my
It
opinion.
would be
Oh
very
my
shocking
God.
this early
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be. Anytime the protagonist loses, there's always an element of shock. I mean, this because it's a girl actually fairly defeating the protagonist, which would be insane. And it's an antagonist defeating the protagonist, which also rarely happens. It's someone from an antagonistic group. I mean, it just never happens.
And it's,
this early on, it would be insane.
and
it really would be.
I think you call out the point too. It'd be rough to like, where do you go from here, right? Because you want to build up Roa going forward. So if Roa goes against Yuga, okay, well, there's a good chance that Roa could win that. Yuga's going to lose again, and then there's 5 other members that he would have to face presumably at some point. Is how, if let's say the lowest, and we don't know her power level in this case, but let's say she's the youngest with the least experience, right? If she can knock off the main protagonist, what does it say about everybody else there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a hard precedent to set. So that's what I just kept coming back to.
I really wish they went down the route that this girl ended up dueling Roman. I would have
Yes.
loved to see some rivalry brew between those two.
And you could also build up Roman in that. If give her a victory, it'd be nice to see, you know, them take the main female protagonist.
Yeah,
and kinda
this
do
is
something
the
with it.
first dueling matchup, and there's always a lot in every Yu-Gi-Oh that I wish was altered a little bit. I haven't felt that way with any of the matchups. This is the first one where I wish it was Roman versus this girl.
Fair.
Yuga, you know, understandably getting a lot of attention, but
course.
I feel like we can do something else with some of these guys. I mean, I don't see anything going forward of when is the next time Gakuto is going to duel.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, like, let's be real. Like, I mean, that could be 5 episodes away at least.
Yeah, probably. Well, those are our thoughts for Yugas and a Goha girl. We will see who gets that right.
Let's go
Could
for
end
it.
up be draw no results, so maybe none of us get it right. But if you want to play the game, the Pick'em League, definitely send an email down below in the description to the email address with your pick, Yuga, Goha Girl, or draw/no result. And as a special bonus, on Friday night, when the episode airs live in Japan, I believe me and Nick T will be broadcasting the episode and reacting to it. It will not be subbed, of course, because it's live, and that stream will be deleted immediately after the episode ends for obvious reasons. But if you're around on Friday at, I think it's like, we'll probably go live like 6:15 p.m. Eastern time. That should be a lot of fun, and I hope to see a few of you guys there. But yeah,
Friday's a big day, huh?
Friday is a big day. Last of Us 2.
Last of
It was
Us
part 2.
Yeah.
If anyone's a fan
Part 2, I
out there.
guess.
Yeah, part 2.
Yeah. Do we want to do some more donations? Let's
Let's
do
go
it.
for it.
Let's bang it out.
All right. We have $10 from Goose.
Goose. Thank you, dude. That's a very nice donation.
He
Thank
says,
you, man.
the episode wasn't that bad. Glad Ramen Kid had similar dreams to Yuga. The Goha Corporation aspect is very dictatorship the more we see the show. The face recognition robot is very iRobot/Wally.
Yes.
Yes.
S
yeah,
and yes.
absolutely.
Yeah. All nail on the head.
Yeah, I completely agree with him. And Goose is always a smart guy. Always says a lot of insightful things.
Very perceptive.
Yeah. Thank you for the donation, man. And yeah, I never saw Wall-E or iRobot, so I unfortunately can't speak to either.
You never
of
seen
those.
iRobot?
No.
What culture?
It's a Will Smith classic.
Yeah, I've seen the other Will Smith movie, the one where the zombies.
There's many of them.
Yes, I Am Legend.
I Am Legend.
I Am
I
Legend.
Am Legend.
The other I movie, yeah.
Oh, it's a good one.
It's very
So
good.
sad.
So sad.
Yeah, iRobot. Shia LaBeouf, remember?
Yeah, Shia
small
LaBeouf.
small
LaBeouf.
role in that
Oh,
movie.
wow.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
right. He was the kid.
So good in that.
Well, not
Yeah.
kid. But he was
Yeah,
the,
well, it's
yeah.
forgotten when
He's-
that goes on.
yeah. Well, as a lot of his roles do,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
No, Goose, thank you, man.
Just do it.
You got $5 from Electra Kevin.
Oh,
Electric
Kevin, thank you. My friend from Aussie Land. Thank you, dude.
Yep. Have y'all played the new Pokemon DLC yet? Also, have y'all started watching the new best Pokemon anime yet? Man, what a great time to be a Pokemon fan.
Wow.
Yeah,
really?
I've heard the
Wow.
new Pokemon anime is really good. I have not watched it yet.
Is it on Netflix? Where is it?
I don't think so. I think it's.
Maybe the dub is. I don't know.
Well, is it not? Is it not live? Like it's not live, but I mean it's.
It's still airing
it's
right
airing.
now. It's
That's-
ongoing.
So yeah, I don't think that.
But I have not played.
Everyone's saying it's on Netflix.
It is on Netflix.
Wow,
okay.
really?
Yeah, it might have been.
Don't we have a friend in that dub? Or is that a?
Barrett Letty?
Yeah,
he
is he
plays
not-
Mullane. I think that's Sun and Moon.
Yeah, he was in Sun and Moon.
He was in the last show.
meh.
But I do want to say that I have not played Isles of Armor yet. I plan on streaming the DLC very soon. I plan on streaming it either Saturday or Sunday. My goal, I think, going forward with this channel is I'm going to try and do 4 and 4. 4 videos a week, 4 streams a week.
Wow.
I'm going to try and keep that up. As I've said recently, I just enjoy streaming more. I enjoy talking to you guys and chatting. And obviously, this stream is a little different because I'm not watching the chat. I watch the chat afterwards. So I don't really have that touch with you guys. But in the other streams, I'm more focused on the chat and what's going on. But yeah, I enjoy that right now more than video making. So that's what I'm going to focus on. So 4 and 4, Isles of Armor stream Saturday or Sunday, one of those days. So I'm excited for that, Kevin.
Oh.
But yeah, thank you for the dono, man.
You got £5 from Nicholas Horton.
Oh, Nick, thank you, dude.
She's back.
The Goha girl doesn't look like a threat, but looks can be deceiving.
He's right.
He's
Very
absolutely
right.
Looks
right.
can be
Absolutely.
very deceiving.
He's absolutely right.
Yep. That can go with anything in life.
Exactly. And she
Wow,
could be 30
that-
years old, and looks
Wow.
can be very deceiving.
Yeah.
There you go.
If you never mind. All right, Nicholas, thank you for the
What we
donation.
got?
I
What
am
do you say?
very curious
Yeah,
as to
what
where
do
that
you
was
say?
going.
If I was gonna say, if you were at the Dublin house,
I already don't like where this is going.
Okay.
Caliber's probably there, but Caliber for once in a Dublin house hypothetical is not relevant to this.
Okay.
So just pretend Caliber's not with you. He's with more popular.
He's at
people from high
Donovan's.
school. Yeah, he's at
Oh,
Donovan's.
it could be at Donovan.
Or he's with people that just were peaked in high school, and you are at the bar and you see a girl that looks exactly like how that girl looks.
Mhm.
I mean, what's your genuine reaction? Because I've been to bars up at like Montclair, very seldom, and like sometimes you see people and you're like, okay, there's no way that those people are older than like 17. And of course, the drinking age in the States is 21, not 18, like in Europe. But like,
It'd be peculiar. I would imagine that I'd be like, okay, the owner of this bar was probably their kid, and maybe they couldn't babysit or something tonight, so they just had him hang out here, drink some apple juice kind of thing.
yeah,
I wouldn't think I was like, huh, no, they didn't check her ID, huh? She's probably like 13, so there would have to be some kind of family or something to it of like explanation of why this kid's here.
yeah. It's always weird to me when I see really young people, like people that are clearly not.
It's like, wait, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah, I always feel
Some
like
people just look really
I
young.
always feel uncomfortable. Yeah, that's the other thing about it.
Am I too old to be here?
Right. Oh, yeah. Luckily, I don't, bar that much. But
Oh, Davis said that's no Cal. It's Pete's filler episode. So
Wow.
my filler episode is I just go to the bar and I just
And
have
then you
this
see
whole
an underage
wacky
child,
scenario
You're
happen.
like, whoa,
Yeah.
you got to get out
what
of
if,
here.
dude? What if the bartender that is serving her drinks in episode 7
Is Mr.
the
Goha.
same bartender that served Yusei drinks?
There's no way. Well, first of all,
How
the implications
insane,
You see his
dude.
of the
eyes?
universe
Oh
we
my
would be
God.
in.
Another theory: that massive high tech,
Whoa, he's lifting the mic. That's how you know he's.
that massive high tech AI that's running the ramen shop is I. I just blew your mind. I knew I did.
There's no way.
What do you
Why
mean?
not?
That would be the
No
perfect
way.
retirement job. Taking pictures with girls,
Right.
serving ramen.
It didn't look anything like I. Nothing.
But I is now part of this machine.
Yeah.
And it's purple. The machine was purple.
After he went through everything he went through, he said, "You know what? I'm just gonna retire. Just run a
he didn't
ramen
have
shop."
he didn't have a choice.
He was essentially reset.
Watch for that crack theory. It's coming out.
It better not be.
Oh, God.
I'm into it. I'm into it.
You wouldn't rather like a better crossover than that? Come on.
I would rather that. I think.
Thank you, Nicholas.
He didn't even answer your question.
You ready for the next one?
Yeah, yeah.
You got $5 from DragonFist900.
Thank you, Mark. I
Love that
appreciate
name.
it, man.
Haven't checked Sevens out yet. There are so many other anime I have to watch. Plus, Zexal and Arc 5 burned me pretty bad. I may give it a shot in the future.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
fair.
It's definitely not like it's very much not like any of the Yu-Gi-Oh shows we've had before, which might not be a good thing if you're very, if you like the older shows. But
The original trilogy.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely closer to the overall feeling of a Zexal or an Arc 5 than it is, like a 5Ds. But early GX, you get that vibe too. So maybe
Sure.
maybe that's not accurate, but it's definitely worth a shot, Mark. I think it's been pretty enjoyable so far. But yeah, I understand the hesitation, especially when there's other anime out there, and especially if you were not a big fan of Zexal and Arc 5. I get the hesitation and the distrust. Yeah. But thank you for the donation, regardless, man. I appreciate it.
You got one from Captain Rex.
Oh, Rex, thank you, man.
Says, nice live with two beautiful girls. Nice episode.
Oh, what a
Thanks.
nice
Wow.
guy. Wow.
There's a bunch.
I
Thank
wish he
you.
said. Never mind.
Yeah, what? No. What are you
I
gonna
don't,
say?
I don't.
What are you gonna say?
He's gonna make it about himself.
He's absolutely gonna make it
Say
about
it.
himself.
Go
I
ahead.
wish he said two beautiful girls and two beautiful guys, and then we would have had to decide
Decide who wasn't beautiful.
Who is not the beautiful
Yeah.
guy?
That's messed up.
Yeah,
But
that's
it would have
really-
been fun. It would have been interesting. Rex, thank you for the donation, man. Yes,
Always trying to
two
create
lovely
chaos.
girls. Yes, thank you, man.
Love.
That's why
That's
even
very
if you,
sweet.
even if you are a Yu-Gi-Oh loving, a Yu-Gi-Oh loving weeb like me, you can still do pretty good for yourself.
Wow. Yeah.
That's very true.
Wait, that
Or like Nick Tate.
Thank you. Thanks. Dylan.
that like laughter choke was so Barrett, it wasn't even funny. Mid sentence.
It really was.
Anyway, next donation.
You got one from Francis, the 10th Emperor.
Thank you, Ted.
Francis.
Jordan, since you're back, you're gonna vanish after tonight. You know, I don't know. I think it's up to Nick
You
on
best
this
not-
one.
Oof. Wow.
I had
that's-
my way-
It's a lot of
holding me
pressure.
Well,
hostage.
yeah, I
I
mean,
feel uncomfortable.
I think we've all been sort of held in for a bit too long, so now I think you're no exception. So you're free.
That's
You're
true.
free.
I hope.
It's a Netflix special waiting to happen.
You part 3.
You got one from KP. Best 4-day early birthday present is seeing y'all here.
Oh.
Happy
thank
early
you,
birthday.
It's coming up. 4 days.
Happy birthday.
4 days, so
Happy early
Okay.
birthday.
Friday, Saturday, so Sunday.
Sunday.
Should we sing?
I mean, are you gonna? Sure.
Well, it is royalty free now, right?
It is
so we're
royalty
good.
free, I
Yeah.
think.
No, is it? Okay, we'll sing.
It's
so
in
we
the
can't get-
public
Yeah,
domain.
I think it's yeah.
The la-
Do we want to? How about you sing the first word, then you, and then we'll
No,
do
we're
it?
not doing
no,
that.
we'll sing it all
start.
at the same
You
time.
start. You start.
No.
Happy birthday.
No, no, no.
Birthday.
Stop at
Oh,
birthday.
no,
No, we're not
doing
doing
the
that.
word.
Happy birthday
Birthday
to you.
Happy
Happy birthday
birthday
to you. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
KPE. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Okay, happy belated.
Happy
I mean,
birthday.
happy early.
Happy
birthday.
early.
I don't
That
know
was
about
way above the accepted tempo for happy birthday.
It's funny fast.
Hey, thank you for the donation
happy,
and all
happy
this
early birthday.
and all the support you give
Of
me. Kay.
course.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank you.
Birthday.
You got $5 from Jack Knight 21.
Thank
Yes.
you, Jack.
Hey, have any of you guys seen Avatar: The Last Airbender? It's on Netflix. Watching it first time on season 2. What are your opinions if you have seen it?
What a
Now,
what a
you
time
should
to be
talk about that,
alive.
right?
What do you mean you're watching for the first time? That is an amazing experience that I wish I could have again.
Yeah,
I
Are
agree.
you about to disown me
I
as,
have
as a friend?
No,
I've
no.
never
You've
seen
never
it.
seen Avatar?
No, I
We're
haven't.
hanging out and watching the show. Are
This
you
is the perfect time
joking?
to
Yeah,
watch
we'll
it.
do it.
I've seen bits and pieces. I mean, I know the whole story, but I haven't seen it in
Oh
one
my
sitting.
So good. Dude.
One of my favorite shows of all time. It is a show
Wow, dude,
that
you really gonna do this?
you could
Yeah,
pretty
you
much
gotta
ask
wonder.
me
Step over.
anything, and
Yeah,
I
he's
could
gotta
tell
go
you.
under.
Pete
I'm
does have an
actually-
uncanny memory of this
I'm
show.
actually very surprised that Nickelodeon still doesn't play it.
yeah,
Oh,
what
it's
the-
really
very
Nickelodeon
surprised.
has changed, okay,
They
and
have.
changed for the worse,
They
in my
have.
opinion.
Yep.
Yep.
I feel like a lot of their a lot of their reruns are either shows they're currently playing or shows they played 20 years
20
ago.
years ago, yeah.
So no Avatar era stuff. And
No,
it's
but
really
it
a
is
shame.
it is very lovely to see it on
Yes.
Netflix now. I wish Legend of Korra comes there.
Or
we were
fi- or
talking about
anywhere.
that. Yeah, that would be great to see. But yes,
wow.
enjoy that
Enjoy it.
experience.
That-
Don't look up anything. Don't spoil yourself if you've never seen it before.
Yeah.
Just enjoy every episode
I
as it
think
is.
I was talking to someone recently about it, about how really phenomenal the world building is in that show.
So,
Like
incredible.
I really underappreciated it at the time, but
I do
enjoy
agree
it for your first time.
that the movie not great.
We're not-
There was a 2010
and we don't
Oh, I
talk
forgot
about
about
it.
that.
Did not, it does
Last
not exist.
Airbender movie. They couldn't use the word Avatar because what was going on with James Cameron's Avatar
Right, so they
and
say The Last
rights
Airbender.
issues and everything. So they called The Last Airbender.
And Ong.
Yeah, Ong and all that. It's not a good movie.
Was that
so.
one CGI?
Not it's most
No, it is live action, but they CGI'd like a lot of
The
stuff. But
effects.
it's
Oh,
just
yeah,
it's
okay,
it's
I remember
really
that.
poorly
Terrible.
done. There's rumors of a live action Netflix Avatar: The Last Airbender show.
I would be
Maybe
into
that's
that.
why. Maybe that's why they put the animated
Com-
on Netflix
completely
to get
possible.
people prepared.
It's
Yeah, that'd
completely
be good.
possible.
Yeah.
I'm nervous of that happening.
As long as they're
but
not
yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan, I'm fine with it.
I mean, yeah, and he's had a bounce back to his career
Yeah,
now,
The
but
Visit
that
was
was
great.
in his rough times.
That was very
That was
rough.
when he was really going downhill.
While we're still on the topic, I saw recently a TikTok about I forget. It's the guy was actually popular on Vine. He did a lot of like the story times, and he was babysitting a kid who was watching. He's like, I'm watching The Last Airbender. It's like, oh, you're gonna. And he walks in, and the kid's watching the movie. He's like, oh no.
No.
And then like he's like, you know what, I'm just gonna go upstairs. I'm glad you get to experience this. And the kid like keeps saying everything wrong with the movie. He's like, yeah, my favorite character's Ong, and he like falls up the stairs. And it's like, it's really unfunny. It's like, why did they take the comedy out?
Yeah.
And it's just like really everything just and the last one. It's like, oh, there's just so many white people. And it's like, ah, just because
It is so true though.
Yeah.
Like what? It's just a
they
disgrace
recasted
what they
everyone.
did with that movie.
It's just trash. Don't ever watch
And
it.
listen, I understand it's a hard thing to do, right? That you're taking an entire 20-episode season in book one and you're trying to put it down to a movie.
But just
But
don't do it. Then.
So I think the movie was only like an hour and 40 minutes or
Not
something.
worth-
Like,
yeah.
do 2.5 hours if you're doing something that large. Like,
Yeah.
You
it's
know what
just-
though,
ugh.
and like that's what's weird though, because like if a movie that's geared towards kids, you can't have it at 2.5 hours because the kids wouldn't
Yeah,
be
they wouldn't be
engaged
able
enough.
they wouldn't
But
be
it's
able
not a
to.
storyline that you can condense into an hour and
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just
then just like
ugh.
truncate it, like end it earlier.
Yeah, and it is on the
Right.
surface. It is a show for kids, and yes, there is kid elements, especially early on. But a show that deals with
A lot.
war and genocide, and like there's a lot of themes I think are very important. That hey,
Yeah.
like if you have if you're Davis out there and you have a kid that is just into the world there, as that kid grows up, show that kid Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh,
It
yeah.
teaches you a lot of fantastic themes for
Really
your kids to
great.
grow up on.
Yes, thank you for the donation, Jack.
Yes, enjoy.
I could have a whole podcast on
Yes,
that show.
literally.
Pretty good.
You got $10 from Goose.
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 He's been very generous lately.
He was.
Yeah,
Like
thank
even not even just this stream, the previous.
He's just a great
The
freaking
best.
guy, man. Thank you, Goose. Thank you, dude.
He says, it's funny how Team Rush ignored Rook in the beginning of the episode, and then towards the end, we see Rook magically appear eating the last ramen. Ramen Kid choking Rook in the end was funny.
Yeah.
I thought that whole like.
Yeah.
Rook, like in his sparse moments of this episode, was just hysterical.
Yeah, he
Really
was. He
was,
was.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think that shows the chemistry between the team, that you can remove one of them from the equation.
Yeah.
And I forgot about Rook.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that I dislike
No.
him. Like, I like Rook as a character, but the chemistry and the dynamic was still really good between our core characters, that you can remove one of them, maybe even
Right.
two of them, and you still get those comedic moments and just an overall well-flowing together show.
As I think,
yeah.
as long as those the remaining characters compensate, I feel like Gakuto and Roman did compensate in their personalities in this episode for the loss of Rook. Like they acted out a bit more than I think they would have if Rook were
Yeah.
present.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite jokes in the episode was right at the beginning when he has the newspaper about
Oh my
how he's
God.
talking about how he's there and look, they're doing a piece on him. And what should I call
Yeah,
this
Rook
piece? This
gives advice.
advice.
Too
and
simple.
you think for a second does that classic TV show thing where Yuga is concerned about that, like,
Yeah.
oh my God, you're in the newspaper, and is looking at something completely different
Yeah.
about the restaurant being shut
Dude,
down.
such
I
a
love
classic bit, but so effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that. And they walked away. They left him there.
Yeah,
they
and he's
didn't
still
even
going.
care.
He was like,
They're just
I
like-
don't know, what was that word that he used? Like support Terminator.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, what is he
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah, he's a
He didn't even
goofy
care
guy.
that they
He's
walked
wacky.
away. Yeah.
He is. Thank you, Goose. Seriously, man. Thank you again.
Here's one from Stardust Nobody.
My
Sam.
homie Samuel.
Sammy.
He wants to know, well, who's lankier? Dylan,
Mm-hmm.
Nick,
Okay.
or Code Geass character?
Oh.
It's close.
It's cool. I think it's. Well, it's not Caliber anymore because Caliber did bulk up.
But I feel like I don't know. Lelouch is like all legs.
I know.
He really
I think
is.
Lelouch
I
is
think
lankier.
Lelouch
Yeah.
wins it.
I think
Absolutely.
Yeah.
he's a lanky guy, man. That's not a bad thing.
No.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's
No.
nothing wrong with that.
My
I
dad's
don't-
famous line.
Yeah,
There's
right.
nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Nothing wrong with
Yeah, we don't even have
I'd
a
give it
frame
to
of
Lelouch.
reference for how tall they are, but we just know all legs, very long arms. They're the lank
Sam
kings.
probably knows how tall Lelouch is. How tall is
Is there
Lelouch?
is there
There's
an established
probably-
height?
I love those things where you just like look up like like animated characters, just like what is the height of this character?
Yeah,
you
and
ever do
there's
that with Clifford, the big red
No.
dog?
Red
You
dog.
look up the size of Clifford, and it doesn't even make any sense. He's gigantic.
Yeah.
How would anyone be okay with this dog?
No one would.
in this town.
Yeah.
Gigantic dog.
There's got to be a number.
Height.
About
No.
About 25 feet.
I don't know about that.
Who would be okay with that?
He's only 2 years old.
What a puppy.
Yeah, a
the-
2-year-old male red dog whose appearance, disposition, and behavior are based on a giant dog. His size is inconsistent. while he is often shown being about 25 feet tall from paws to head. Clifford can appear far larger.
That's what I was
Well-
gonna say, because inconsistent. Because in the intro, like he's as big as the apartment
Oh my
that
god!
they had to
yeah.
move out of.
That's true.
Yeah, he's
And I was like, whoa,
terrifying.
hold on. Yeah, so it is inconsistent, but he is great.
Well, you know, it's funny because Shadow Ramsey said Peppa Pig is 7 feet.
Oh my God! Don't say
So
that.
compared to Cliff, I
Exactly.
mean, these animals are humongous.
Wait, how big is Peppa's dad then? He must be like 15 feet at least.
I think he's bigger than Clifford.
He must be bigger than 25 feet. These
Prob-
hogs,
yeah.
man.
I know.
Hogs can get pretty big.
You know what else is ridiculous?
Wait,
Olaf is 5 feet 4 inches tall.
Literally impossible.
There's no way Anna and Elsa are like.
That makes
So
Anna
they're
like 10 of 10
gigantic.
feet,
No,
like-
They're
Probably 10.
gigantic.
Yeah,
then.
he's below their waist. He's
Yeah.
below everybody's waist. There's no way
See,
that they're
what
all
happens
giant.
when you
Yeah.
look up these animated cartoon characters? Doesn't even make any sense how big they
Yeah,
are.
I want to know how. It does say. Oh God.
So Anna, it says Anna is 5'3".
Yeah.
So
So that
she's
means
short.
Olaf is taller
Yeah.
than Anna.
Wow.
Call
Guys,
BS.
let's not.
People
let-
also ask, is Elsa 11 feet tall?
Yes. Let's not these. Let not,
The stream has gone off the rails. now.
Sorry.
let these mistakes happen in Yu-Gi-Oh. Let's keep the heights consistent in canon, please. I beg of you.
KP did say Lelouch is 5'10".
Okay, then he's
That
lankier.
makes
Okay.
sense. He is lanky.
Yeah.
That's an appropriate height, but he is very
Yeah.
lanky still.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not to discount that you are a very lanky
Sure,
individual.
I'm not. Thank you, man.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Sam, thank you for the donation, my friend.
You got $5 from Neos Gundam.
Oh,
Yo,
Matthew
here we
Kennedy.
go.
Here we
Matthew
go.
Here we go.
Kennedy.
Here we go.
Oh,
Yes.
Say
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Say it.
Oh, I had a
Gotta
name
do it.
change.
This is the big one. We wait for this.
All caps.
Yeah, we know.
Everyone watch Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans for best Gundam ever. Gundam Barbados and love best girl Atra.
You said it the right way.
No, it's
No.
Barbados for the record, but that is okay.
I don't care.
Oh!
Wow.
Oh my God!
That's
Kick
a response-
Nick
that's
T's
a
out of the
response
church.
to you.
Kick Nick T out of the church. I'll take his spot.
No, what?
Oh my God! What a.
Tea.
That
But
was
Matt, it is good to hear from you. Buddy.
No, it's
Yes.
great to hear from you, man. Thank you for the donation, and all hail IBO, as I always
It's
say.
true. And the 10th Emperor just pointed out, Nick T, that Vegeta, remember, is 5'5", but that makes sense.
He's a man.
Because, like, when you see him, you're like, okay, he's tough, but
He's
is
short.
a short gentleman. Bulba is taller than him.
Yes,
Bulma
yeah.
is taller than him.
Yep.
So that makes sense. These other things doesn't make any
Does
sense.
not.
How is Olaf that tall? Doesn't make any sense.
Literally
Well,
not.
Shadow Ramsey also hits us with it. Caillou is 5'11".
That's a lie. There's no
I've
way.
never seen that.
There's
Like,
no way.
Circulate the
I'm
internet.
gonna have
So if he
nightmares
had, but if
tonight.
he had hair, how tall would he be?
But he's a kid, isn't he?
We're talking
There's
six-
no
6
way
feet.
he's 5'11".
He is a kid.
He's supposed to be how old?
How old is he supposed to be?
I think probably 4 or 5.
Right, so I'm 5'11", so at 4 years old, he's my height.
Yep.
That's a lie. There's no way.
I'm very disturbed.
Yeah, I know. Caillou, get out of here.
You got $5 from Jack Knight.
Thank you, Jack, again, man.
I wish they do another character like Luciano from 5Ds in this situation. If you remember Dylan when he came in the show.
Yeah, I remember where he with Leo and Luna. Yep, I remember. His debut was always solid. Yeah, I could see why you would want that to happen, but then again, that was like later on. I mean, maybe they'll do it. Maybe it'll play out similarly. I have hope that it's gonna end up being pretty solid. This whole spy situation, and I have hope that she's gonna end up being a memorable character. But or a character that maybe goes insane, kind of like Luciano did, not to levels of like Vector or anyone like that. Remember, Vector was also a transfer student, if I remember correctly. So we have a history of transfer students, and yeah, we'll see how it goes.
You got one from Dragon Fist 900.
Thank you again, Mark.
Hey Dylan, are you still open to doing that collab?
Yeah, Mark, DM me on Twitter, man. DM me on Twitter. I'm always open for anything. And thank you for the donation. Are you guys okay?
Did something happen?
I don't know what happened. Obviously, something happened. What happened? You can tell me.
Just chilling.
I don't have it open. I can't.
I can't see it either.
You got $5 from Davis.
What happened, Jordan?
Are you laughing at? I think you're probably laughing when I'm laughing at.
I think so.
You got $5 from Davis.
Thank you, Davis.
Best girl Jordan. Thank you, Davis. I feel like SpongeBob saying the gang's all here. The gang's all here.
The gang's all here. Yeah, that's-
Jordan, can you tell Nick T to check his Twitter for a thing I promised for a while?
Oh God. Is it what it is? What I think it is?
It has to be.
The gang's all here thing
The
I think
mom-
of is when we were in quarantine.
fight cover?
And so
Is
we
it?
were just imagining
So
that
we were, like,
we
with
were
our-
like the
with our
gang's all
friends.
here.
That's exactly what it was.
It was. Is it?
Oh my! What's going on with my
I saw
phone?
that. That was insane.
Oh my,
oh my
God!
God,
It is.
Oh,
He
thank
covered
goodness!
Kane.
Finally.
Oh,
And
no
guitar.
way!
I can't wait to listen to this. I am
we're so
very
stoked.
Oh
excited.
my gosh, Davis, is this your official audition to be in Mom Fight?
Yeah, you're in.
Hmm.
That's it. You're in.
Watch it. He says
This is
Yeah.
your official.
You replaced Nick T.
That's it. I'm not the guitar player anymore. But dude, I'm honored. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch this when I get back.
Yeah.
We're gonna probably the band's probably gonna share this all over the place as long as you're cool with that. So thank you.
Thank you, Davis. You're the man.
You got another $5 from Jack Knight.
Wow.
Jack, dude, thank you, man.
Also, Dylan, don't forget not to say too in depth because Pete don't want the spoilers.
Pete don't want the spoilers.
Yeah, I'm
don't
just
want the
used to it
I
by
think
now.
we've already gone as in depth as we got.
Jack, you're right. Pete is not a big spoiler guy. But, I mean, do you feel like you were spoiled that heavily?
On this show, no. I it's also just all the shows. I'm just used to
Yeah.
it happening. It goes one ear and out the other.
Good. That's what
Yeah.
it is. You can't think
So.
about it. Can't ponder it. But no, Jack, you're right. Pete doesn't like spoilers. Some people don't like spoilers at all. I know a lot. But again, with Yu-Gi-Oh, the spoilers are never really that in depth. For me, it always gives you a little bit, like a little taste.
A little taste.
That makes you really want more. It doesn't give you enough where you're like, okay, I don't need to see the episode because of it.
Right.
It never does that. For
No,
me.
I mean, if we thought that, the whole end of Reigns, we would have just took those summaries as they were and
I
never
know.
watched the episodes.
I know, exactly. Yeah, we covered those. And now that we're back
Yeah.
in person,
I mean,
we might be able to do
remember,
that more.
yeah, that'd be great. Remember doing the episodes leading up to the whole lightning revolver duel, right?
Yeah.
Those summaries didn't give away that happening. Like, we would
No.
have never known.
No, not at all. Yeah, the summaries never give away the big things, so that's why I'm always fine with them. But Jack, Pete thanks you. And I thank you. Thank you, man.
Thanks for looking out.
The homie.
You got $5 from Alex Fermi.
Oh, Alex, thank you, dude.
Here's an item for wild speculation. What role will AI play in the show? The AI in this episode looked pretty sinister, so it got me thinking.
I don't know
Yeah.
if sinister was the word, but
Well,
I do think they will play a very large role.
Yes.
I mean, the one, though, yeah, sinister might be an extreme word, but it looked very daunting, that one huge machine that's just watching over
Watching
everyone.
Yes,
Yeah.
that, yes.
And even in the picture that Kaizo takes with the girls, you see that machine in the left, top left picture.
Yeah, that is
like
really,
symbolic
that,
that he's for everything, like he's involved in everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think Goha are going to rely heavily on artificial intelligence, as we've already seen with monitoring the school,
Right.
the facial recognition. I think artificial intelligence is going to play a bit of a sinister role, and I wonder if it'll be similar to Vrains, where artificial intelligence gets out of control to the
Right.
point where they become an enemy. That would be kind of interesting. Or maybe someone uses them to try and
Right.
take over the city and human race.
I don't necessarily see them going that route in this show. I think they're more the arm, the tool of Goha Corporation
Yes.
to watch over everyone.
Yep,
I don't think
I
they're going to
agree.
become sentient. I understand
pretty
it's different
close to it.
studios, but why would you retread something you literally just did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point.
I
But maybe a season 2?
Possibly.
Possibly. I just think that for me, at least, just speaking on my own opinion, I think that's kind of I'm tired out on that aspect right now. I'd rather see human antagonists.
Yes.
I completely
That's
agree.
what I want to see.
Well, I said that my one thing with Vrains is I wish we saw more of the humans involved in the lost incident,
Yes.
and I wish that even at the end the Ignis became humans and they fought as humans, or human bodies
The
at least.
Solstice, yeah, that would have been
Yeah,
cool.
the Solstice. So
And hey, we're getting that slice of life that we didn't get in Brains.
Yes.
that's
we're definitely
very
getting that.
true. And that's nice.
So-
That's really nice. Yeah.
Are you ready for the next one?
Sure.
Let's go.
You got $5 from Bam 255019.
Yeah, bam.
Brian,
Man,
man,
how are you,
thank
bud?
you, dude.
Says, glad to see everyone well and hopefully Cal too. Been busy but still supporting you guys when I can.
The
Also
best.
saving for PS5. LOL. Beat Final Fantasy 7 art. Hashtag best curl Tifa.
I'm with you, man.
Best Girl Tifa.
I'm with you.
Brian, Bam, thank you so much, dude. You have done a lot for this channel, and I'll never be able to thank you, but I really do appreciate the donation. Thank you, man. And always
Good
happy
to
to
hear
Yes.
from you, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
always
definitely.
always good to hear from
Yeah.
you. Happy to see you around again.
I hope you enjoy Final Fantasy VII Remastered. I hope to play it myself.
Save up
Yeah,
for that.
people said it was
PS5.
good. I mean, rumor PS5 right now might be $800, so you got to save your money.
It's like an iPhone.
It's like yeah, it was yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, hopefully that's not a real price point, but
It seems
hope not.
realistic.
I'm thinking more 6.
yeah, if it's more than 5, I'd have to really think about it.
You say that.
5's the most I can spend without questioning it.
That's a pretty high bar.
Even for a console? I mean, you got a whole painting over there that was way more than 5
Yeah.
that you didn't blink an eye over
No.
there.
Well, I think he questioned it a little
If he
bit.
was with me,
I
I
did
definitely
question it,
debated
yeah.
it. I definitely debated it.
I mean, it's a
Yeah.
console that if you treat it right, you're going to have it for the entire generation cycle.
Yeah.
You know, it's a
hope.
one-time investment.
That pays in
I hope.
dividends.
I don't know. $800 for a freaking video game system. Ugh,
Don't you want to play Demon Souls?
I
Yes,
do,
he does.
but not for $800.
Don't you want to play Grand Theft Auto 5?
How much was the PS4 when it came out? I don't even
400.
remember.
400.
400. And that was when?
20.
13?
13 or
Wow.
12? 13?
13.
2013. Yeah.
Wow.
2006 when
Wow.
PS3 came out, it was $600.
Jesus
Let's
Christ.
make it 400 again.
It's gonna be hard. I
Yeah.
just think everything that they have in that machine, I just think it's gonna be hard for $400.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think about it.
That'd be great. Have
What is
Joel.
that?
That's the Joel
Yeah.
meme right there. Yeah,
No,
so
you're
we-
right. You're right. Ugh, man.
You have only one more
Wow.
from KP.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Thank you.
Hey.
Okay.
The new box 28. Witch's sorcery is in Duel Links.
Yes. I saw your message on Discord, Kay. I think I completely forgot to respond, but I will write back at some point. And thank you for sending me all those tidbits about the current event that's going on in Duel Links. Plan to stream Duel Links tomorrow, maybe tomorrow night. So, yeah, maybe we'll do some box opening. Maybe we'll see how that goes. Definitely just keep playing that game, and yeah, it'll be a fun time tomorrow night. But that's probably gonna wrap things up here.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen. How long were we live? Hour and a half.
Hour and a
Hour
half.
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I never want to shortchange the lovely people, but it was a bit of a filler episode. I have a feeling next week we'll have a lot more to go in
Definitely
depth
to
with.
talk about.
And also Caliber's not here as well, so that's one less voice to hear from.
Of course.
But listen, ladies and gentlemen, I had a great time.
Yes.
Thank you to everyone who hung out and watched. Would not be able to do this without all of you. Thank you sincerely to everyone who donated. A special shout out, of course, to Anonymous Anime Lover.
Always.
Thank you so much for that very, very generous donation, which you do really so often, almost too often. So thank you, seriously. Pete, thank you for coming. Kate, thank you for coming. Nick T, thank you for coming. And Jordan, thank you so much for coming back.
We actually have one more.
Okay,
Oh,
perfect.
wow.
From
Perfect.
Jack Knight, $5.
Thank you, Jack. Yeah, shout out to Jack too, man.
Yeah,
Thank you so
really.
much. A lot of donations.
Alrighty, guys. Gots to Bounce got me work. Also, Dylan, if I win or second place with me deck, would you want to do a deck profile video?
Maybe, yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I might do that. The problem is I would not be the best person to maybe narrate that. So you'd have to kind of write out. Well, I guess if you wrote out different combos, yeah, I guess that could work. Yeah, I'd be down to do that. Why not? It would be kind of a fun, different video on the channel. Always down to try new things. So let me know how it goes, Jack, and good luck on that tournament, man. I'm really rooting for you. Thank you to everyone who came by. Any parting words from you guys, from you awesome people?
I mean, it's just crazy to be
Wow.
back.
It
Yeah,
is crazy
really
to be
is.
back.
Yep. Yep. It's crazy, but it's good.
Oh, wow. I don't know. Well, I guess that was as good a time as any.
Stop with the
that
Joel
look, I
meme.
just can't.
Stop.
I mean, the record is finished now, so keep an eye out. Probably in the next 3 months will be a single, so
Woo!
be on the lookout.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Jordan?
Feels good to be back.
Say it louder.
With people
Yes.
in general.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree
It
with
feels
that.
great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was something that I don't think anybody really expected to happen.
No, it felt like
No.
forever.
Being at home, I know. Being at home for so long, we were all a little stir crazy and nervous. We were never going to see anybody else ever again.
Yeah.
But here we are.
But here we are.
Here we are.
It's
Yeah.
still, it's kind of surreal still.
It
Like when
is.
we were sitting up there eating dinner, it was like surreal to be like, wow, I'm
dream.
actually like with
But it was
people.
kind of weird though
People?
because like as long as it was, it like kind of went really fast.
Right, it feels
in a
like no
weird
time
way.
passed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like I feel like it's not supposed to be June.
Yeah.
I know
No.
it's
only
scary
actually supposed
how
to be
quick
eight.
this
We were
year
all
is
in a
going.
coma for a few
yeah,
months.
I
Yeah.
completely agree with that. I completely
It's
agree.
a weird world. Please stay safe out there. Be
Yes.
kind to each other.
Yeah.
And
One
you
more.
got another one
Oh my
Oh.
God, they're not on us.
from Captain
Breathe.
Rex, $5.
Thank you, Cammy. I appreciate
Why not
that.
a Jackbox Live? You can take a pause for Duel Links. LOL.
The people
Yeah.
on Jackbox.
I know.
We haven't- it's been a
now that
long
we're back
time.
together, we can definitely do Jackbox
Yeah.
again. So we will do Jackbox again. We have not done Jackbox in probably like a month or so.
Probably
It-
more than
it's
that,
probably
actually.
way
It's
more than a month.
than that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
it's been
Yeah,
a
it's
long
been a very
time.
long
Jeez.
time.
Probably not this week, Captain, but maybe next week.
That'd be awesome.
Maybe next weekend. Yeah, Jackbox. That'd be fun.
That'd be good. I think you
Yeah.
got a lot of good things to look forward to this week.
Yeah.
so.
Absolutely. This
Yep.
week's kind of packed, but yeah, thank you guys so much for all the support. I would not, with the super chat donations, especially the memberships, Patreon, I would not be able to do this without you guys. And thank you to everyone who just hangs out and watches my streams. And thank you to you guys. I wouldn't be able to do this
Absolutely.
without
Of
you.
course. Happy to be here.
Be kind to one another. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And I hope you have an
An
amazing
amazing
day.
day.
Thank you guys.
Thank you
Good night.
guys.
Take care.